madman. Oh, but he lands it.
And Envyus in a great position.
And this could be so deadly. You give him an inch, and he'll take a mile. What a dominant half there from Epsilon.
It's all popping off. Oh,
but just like that.
By one.
A little aggressive there.
Finds the headshot, juicy one.
Oh, my word. Yeah, it is. 2 kills coming. Finally, one goes down.
Single-handedly, he tears it up. Absolutely destroys them.
How about that? Pretty cheeky, bit of classical music there, and I'm expecting an El Clasico in terms of the matchups here, Epsilon versus Envyus. You're right to bite your lip on that little ditty I added into the script. Not even in the script, not even in the script. But now it comes down to the maps. We know how intense they play, but what sort of maps will Epsilon be trying to avoid today? What sort of maps will Envyus be trying to avoid?
So typically in my mind, Epsilon would try and avoid a map like Cobble, for example. That's where they got their first 2 losses during the actual Elite Series, and it's actually a map that Envy are quite prominent on. So that's one map they should look to dodge if they can. Envy, they've had a pretty consistent veto throughout this Elite Series. I think it was 5 of the 6 weeks they've vetoed Overpass, then Mirage in that order, like 5 of the 6 weeks. So it seems like they've committed to avoiding those 2.
Yeah.
So it's likely they'll try and just avoid those 2, to be honest. They might just stick with the same veto. Those are maps that Epsilon have played quite a bit.
Sticking with the same vetoes to try and cancel them out so you don't have to play them. Which map would you like to see? There's a particular map that no one ever goes for, which is
Cobblestone.
No, everyone goes for Cobblestone. Look at that, the toy cost. It didn't even catch it. Now that is the skill I like from that man. He decided, no, we're going to officially get it to hit the floor. What do you think about this? Epsilon's Barber on his own against 2 there.
Doesn't seem fair to me, does it?
Yeah, he didn't bring any backup. Why?
Should have brought someone to, just in case a brawl was enacted.
That's what we expected.
That's what we expect, of course. Counter-Strike players.
That's what we would have liked. Epsilon losing the coin toss.
Getting rid of Nuke.
But yeah, Envyus choosing.
Which is the map you really want to see.
Yeah, I just want to see it.
We want to see.
But Nuke is something that they've eaten quite a few times so far. I think it's 4 of the last 6 weeks they've got rid of it. Overpass, again, that's in the order that they have done the past 4 weeks. They've gone Overpass, then Mirage. Cobble getting removed. One of them, these strong maps, not much of a shock. That should be Mirage ban. So that's the exact same veto they had for the past 4 weeks.
Hello, and our first map has come in then.
Epsilon picking Inferno is a shock, because they vetoed it the first 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And it's something that I haven't typically played on.
Oh, hello. What's the... Oh! There's a man who's confident. A cheeky little wiggle like that, why not? Someone needs to get that and make that into a GIF. And we can tweet out from the @Gfinity Twitter, potentially. So you're saying that Inferno, the first map that we're going to see tonight, is a bit of a curveball from Epsilon.
Yeah, I think the picks are a curveball in the sense that they're kind of reversed to what I'd expect. So last week we saw Train for Epsilon, and Smuia was incredible. I think he had 30 kills to 11 deaths or something stupid. He was just running around, AWPing everybody he saw. That seems like a map that Epsilon are quite strong on. To see Envy pick it, I think the only result they've had on Train was against XL, and they lost. They won 16-13, which was a very close game. That was XL with a standard.
Yeah.
So it's very odd to see them pick that, and then also Epsilon pick Inferno, which is standardly a Envy map.
Okay.
It feels very reversed.
Harold, I'm going to put you on the spot, as I normally do, but a man in such a flamboyant shirt, I know that you're going to handle this with aplomb. So who do you reckon is going to win the first map? It's going to be Inferno. So,
Inferno. You know what? I'm just going to go out and I'm off the back of these map picks. I'm going to predict the series. I'm actually going to say 2-0 Epsilon.
Okay, but the prediction for this particular map?
Well, obviously that would be Epsilon, yeah.
Thank you. I just needed everybody to be clear on that. And Esther, what do you reckon for this one?
I'm going to revert it in the sense that they will both lose their own picks.
Okay.
So Envy take Inferno, and then Epsilon Train.
Ooh, divided there. Right, for this epic match, we have 2 awesome casters who are over here. I'm going to walk across to them right now. Henry G, looking absolutely dapper today. Pansy,
good to see you
delightful to have you both here, because I know you're going to bring a lot of energy to this. But let's just talk about the first match today that we saw, and XL managing to make it into the playoffs. How good was that, right?
It It was insane. Unbelievable scenes, I would say, Tom. I don't think anyone saw that coming in today. I thought it'd be Envyus locking their place in the playoffs, but it didn't actually happen for them. They didn't turn up at all today.
Well, it was Excel sitting in 6th place, almost the unlikely one to go through at endpoint there. Envyus, the more likely of the two, and then 6th place gets up to 4th. Everything works in their favour. It was a great series to cast. Nice little warm-up for this.
Yeah, of course, and they got that win, but then they also needed endpoint to lose. And Reason getting our first win in the Elite Series. We all just sat here just like, what's just happened? But we witnessed it, and it genuinely did happen. I asked people upstairs, the execs, they said they definitely saw it, and we all did, didn't we?
Yeah, no, it was one of those where you're kind of staring at like, is that really happening? Because it started going back and forth the first half, very one-sided, and then the game really kicked off on train, and obviously Reason ran away with it.
But this one's going to be a juicy contest. I'll leave it in your capable hands. Take away, this is going to be Inferno for these guys.
Yeah, thank you very much. And yeah, this is going to be an incredible game. I don't think we need to sell it too much. The game will speak for itself, Henry.
Sure.
But, you know, what really stands out for you between these two teams here? What storyline's grabbing your attention?
Obviously, trying to make that #1 spot in the playoffs, right? It's more of a message sending out that we're the best team here right now. We've won all of our games pretty much going into this one. But I kind of agree with the desk. It feels like Envyus kind of are having some trouble the last few weeks, especially. It seemed like they had that first draw last week. I feel like things are starting to go a little bit wrong for them. They're bringing the coach in now as well. I do feel like Epsilon have a higher skill ceiling generally. I think they've got the firepower of Smooya, Freddie B, Barbar, for example, a lot of experienced players there. And Envyus, they've got some great talent, but maybe lacking a bit of experience generally. So I think this will be a great game. I slightly favour Epsilon, though, generally, I think.
Yeah, I see. It's weird because in theory, I guess sitting in first place is Envyus. You know, they've looked good. They look quite dominant throughout the season, only dropping that one map essentially. But then again, if I look at these two teams away from the standings currently, I would put Epsilon in a better position. I would put them first out of these two. I think we haven't seen Epsilon tested that much, though. I don't think they've had to play a real game of CS yet. I don't think they've had to be humbled. I think we've seen that kind of crazier style. We've seen that in-your-face, aggressive, depend on your individuals. Okay, you might have to rein it in eventually, but I think they might actually get a little bit of a real game here, and that's what excites me.
I'm quite excited as well. We've had some crazy scenes here today. I'm not sure we can replicate that sort of hype, but at the same time, trying to send that message out, we know that the Envyus guys trying to prove themselves as the week go on. Obviously, before the Elite Series, we didn't really have any of those players on our radar at all. We knew they were in an academy team, but apart from that, I hadn't really heard of any of them. And they've proven themselves to be one of the most formidable teams here. And that's no easy task. So that's why the Elite Series has proven itself to be very worthwhile in that sense, unearthing great players like that and giving them a chance to showcase their talents. And the same goes for Epsilon as well. They've always been this kind of team that's been kind of tier 2/tier 3, having great players, but never finding amazing success. But once again, they've brought some new talents to the scene here. Smooya, obviously, we're in London. He's a British player and one of the few players that plays in an international lineup, and he's showing himself to be quite the player right now. 18 years old and showing that sort of skill. He's been playing the game for 2 years. It's pretty remarkable.
Yeah, we were actually having a quick chat with him as well. Kind of leading up to this game, they were here warming up early. We're discussing, you know, how he used to warm up and the amount of time he put into it. And it's something that, you know, a couple of players very nonchalant. If you talk to the tier 1 teams, they don't really give you the kind of big detail to it. They won't go and break down it. But talking to him, it was, you know, I do 500 kills here. I do 500, you know, of these sort of, you know, approaches. So he'll do so many hours building up to just how he warms up for an official. It was quite funny kind of learning that and seeing, you know, the trials that he's done.
Yeah, absolutely. I've never heard of that sort of dedication. He was talking about 1,000 kills with the AK-47, 1,000 with the M4, just kind of mixing that all up. Like, I remember when I was a player, I didn't use it for that kind of time. I don't think anyone ever has. No. So it's quite, it's impressive to see how far he's come in 2 years, but it's understandable. That sort of dedication, you put those kind of hours in, you're going to be absolutely fine and actually find yourself with this sort of reward. Like, sure, he's not at the top end of the team right now, but he's one of the few UK players of actually making huge strides. And at that age as well, I think he's got a very bright future ahead of him.
Absolutely. I think he brought up a really interesting point as well, that when he was kind of coming into this matchup and their approach, you know, Epsilon's idea of what Envy are as a team, they're a team that put hours in, is Envy. They anti-strat. They will look at the opponents and they'll do work.
Yeah. And
he was kind of surprised a little bit. He was like, you know, why are they doing this? They don't need to do it, but they do. They're very keen. They're one of those teams that kind of fall into that.
Yeah.
And this is why that veto going the way it did kind of interested me. I think that you get the two kind of extremes. You get the individual firepower. You get a lot of the kind of flashy side of it from the Epsilon boys. You look at the Envious side, you know, hard work, graft. It's kind of your two different battles there. I do like that idea of it kind of going between each other.
Yeah, well, I'm quite excited at the prospect of Envyus generally. I feel like it's a nice little project for them. If still they've got 5 great players generally, and they're going to be stepping up here today, trying to prove themselves at the first place in the seedings, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and I think the players are just warming up, taking a couple of seconds to get themselves ready, of course. But while they're doing that, we can have a quick chat with the guys on the desk, because we've given you guys a little bit more to talk about, boys. We've given you a bit more depth. Have you been paying attention over there?
So much attention has been paid on this side. We had a quick game of rock, paper, scissors, because we love gaming.
Who won?
So we've done that. We've taken that on board, Pansy, but I actually have my own question for these gentlemen. So, gents, we're just saying, with the top 4 places in the playoffs going, Excel getting that final spot, and interestingly enough, with the Season 2 of the Elite Series happening, there's going to be some roster changes. Excel are pretty much the only team that are going to stay together. How important is that for UK CSGO?
Well, coming from a former player, that's a really good thing to see, obviously, because you want the roster who stick together. You want them to succeed so they can prove by example. So like, if you keep your roster together, you might make the playoffs, which I'm really glad they did make it, to be honest. Yeah,
and how important is that for CSGO, like keeping that unity and synergy of your players?
Well, if I try and give a little bit of context to this, a big problem we've been having in the UK scene has been every single LAN. Someone brings a mixed team with a couple of foreign players, they come in, they win the LAN, they go home, they never play together again. And that's, I think, done a huge amount of damage to the scene. The mixed mentality, where you bring potentially a Swedish player or you just bring a completely random mix, has done irreparable damage to our scene. We've had teams like FM, probably, I think they were the longest standing team that actually stayed together. You had teams like Endpoint, where the core 3 had been together for a long, long time. And finally, we were starting to see results, and can you guess what happened? They fell apart. We even had that with what is now Method, which was FM. So I think having a team that's actually going to stick together makes a massive difference to the UK scene. And seeing them get results, it's heartwarming. Let me tell you, Tom, it's heartwarming.
It is heartwarming for everybody. While we have a slight little delay while the setup's taking place, I don't know if they're using an old modem and a startup, but they're not. They will get that sorted in just a second. But as Harold says, SEO, keeping that core group together. But the Elite Series gives them that opportunity to test things out and find that winning formula and a winning team, doesn't it?
Yeah, it definitely does. The Elite Series gives you an opportunity to have weekly games at an event with someone. So obviously, before this, you'd have an event every, say, 2 months. So you'd only meet technically if you had a new team, you'd only meet them at that event, and then a week later, because you had a bad result, that team would then disband. With this, you're having weekly games with each other, meeting each other every week, getting to know each other quite well, and then you go next week and do the exact same thing. It lets you build chemistry in and out of the game, which is something that a lot of teams are kind of missing.
Yeah, I mean, but that Excel team itself only got their second win today. They had their first win last week. So it's testament in itself that if you just keep, doing the same thing, just keep performing week in, week out, and not necessarily getting the right results, but keep performing as a team, eventually it's paid off, hasn't it? I mean, obviously there was a result today, Endpoint falling apart, but I mean, how far could Excel go if they stay together for Season 2?
Let's look at Endpoint, take that as an example. It's a perfect example. Yeah, they've been getting results, exactly. But look at them today, that's a different team. And they expect to come in and do exactly the same thing. This is what Ben was saying earlier in the show. They came in expecting to do the same thing as they did 2 weeks before, and they expected to win. They didn't win because it's a different team, you have to play differently. It's a mix, play as a mix. You can't try and do the same thing. If you're gonna play as a team, keep the same 5 players, stop changing them, and maybe we'll see a bit of change. Do you like what I did there?
No, I did see that and did. It feels like I'm being tested. I'm being tested by Pansy on one side, and I'm being tested from you. I just want the game to start. I'm excited about it. But listen, with the players that they have, why does that change happen so often? Is it they're just like with a football team as well? You think, oh, it's not working. I'll get rid of the coach, or this isn't working. Is there just not enough love in the teams, or is everyone wanting to try and get signed? Like someone who's up there, like Smooya with Epsilon, wanting to sign for a bigger club, getting paid more, etc., etc.
You've got a mixture of things. So the Smooya example is something that came about maybe just under 2 years ago. Death got shipped off to NA, to play for a North American team. And everybody saw that as an example because he had really good stats in other leagues and stuff. They were like, oh, so if I do that, I can get a chance to do this. So you've got some players who try and do that. They try and prove themselves in a pug environment and then get themselves placed into a big team. You've then got people who get taken away from teams. So, for example, if you had a team of 5 where one player is slightly more toxic, you might get rid of them because it's not a very healthy environment to be in. Other reasons are you have skill differences. So you might think, oh, this guy's available, he might be a better replacement for your 5th currently.
Yeah.
And you're like, we should get him in instead. But obviously that means you're rebuilding the team from scratch.
Yeah. I mean, and obviously with this Envyus team, they are the academy squad. So if the main Envyus team have a dropout, there's illness or whatever, then they can just cool up and then break another team apart because of not break them apart, but the demand is there for the bigger team. So then they will get sort of funneled up to that team, won't they?
Yeah, I mean, the concept you have to remember is the example you give of football. Football, you know, the way it works is different. When we're talking about a CS team, you have 5 players. You change one of those players, it's a different team.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It's a different team. You know, you can try and play the same strats. You can try and play in the same way, but it's a different team. With a football team, fine. You sub out one player. You want extra skill. Okay, you practice off season. You get him up to score with the rest of the team. But at the end of the day, you have the same team. You have the same mentality going on. It's the same objective you're going for. In a CS team, you change one player, you can't rely on any of those old strats. He's got to learn everything from scratch. He's got to learn how each individual player plays. So sticking together, while it seems like the difficult thing to do, in the long run, will pay off.
It will pay dividends. Well, listen, I think everyone is up to speed now with the UK scene. I believe we are up to speed with the game. It is first place taking on second place in the race for that top seed. Pansy, Henry G, I am more excited about this, as I'm sure you are as well.
Yeah, no, I can't wait for this. Finally, it does seem as though everything's ready to go. So, yeah, yes. Inferno coming up, Henry. One of my favourites anyway.
Absolutely.
Get to see it all going down here. So much to be seen. Yeah,
we've seen a lot of Inferno at the Elite Series. It always delivers. It's probably one of my favourite maps of all time in Counter-Strike generally. It came back earlier in 2016, and it's a welcome return, a triumphant return. Probably the best-looking iteration we've ever seen of it. And it always is like the third map decider in big best-of-3s. And that's why it's understandable to see it in like a best-of-2 format to come out almost every single week. So it's quite cool to see it in that respect. It will be Envyus versus Epsilon here. We're just finishing with the knife. Looks like I think Envyus win the knife round. So they'll be starting on the CT side more than likely. And still, I'm not really sure. Let's just kind of look at what this game really means here. So if Epsilon get the 2-0, they take the #1 spot in the seedings of the playoffs here. If Envyus get one map here, I believe they should secure that spot.
Secure.
Yeah.
I'm also, we can double check. I'm pretty sure at the end of this one, see how it all unfolds. A lot of changes have happened in that leaderboard just today. So, you know, a lot of turbulence there, but let's kind of then fine-tune this into the game, because we can have a little chat about what to expect from both these sides. Because in my eyes so far, Epsilon, as I highlighted earlier, not been fully challenged, haven't been pushed to their limits. We haven't seen them humbled. A lot of the time, they can just kind of play that kind of looser style. And we're talking to them today, you know, they prac against the big dogs. They prac against your Virtus Pros, your FaZe. You know, all of these sort of teams that, you know, they have to play a different brand of CS. We might have to see that today from them, and I kind of want to see that.
Sure. I think we all do. It's going to be a good game regardless, I think, Lauren. I do feel like it's going to be a 2-0. I'm not really sure. I do favour Epsilon. I feel like whoever is the team to turn up today, I think the maps they're both comfortable on. But we'll have a look. It will be Epsilon starting on the T side here. We're going to have 4 sets of armour for the T side. And in terms of utility player, that's Maeve. He's got a smoke and 2 flashbangs here. That does suggest something very simple. Maybe a smoke towards CT spawn, flashing in towards that B-bomb site, staying as a 5-man unit, or smoke towards Arch and wrapping around towards quad. We'll see what they decide to do here as we enter the first round here on Inferno. CTs looking at a little bit aggressive here. We have got a player in towards the Palmer position. That's Hadji. Doesn't fully commit. But Lambert by himself at Banana. So it's a very common strategy. The CT pistol, long range, and just take a couple of shots and fall back. And should be relatively safe.
I'll be a little cautious here. I do get the information. Cosme's just kind of, I guess, keeping tabs on it more than anyone. But Jax is now the one posted up towards Apps. He's got Freddy B on the other side. And oh, that's a systematic destruction. Freddy B. Nice start to the game for him. Hadji now having to kind of step into gear. Good response. Barbar goes, but that's your in-game leader. Now he gets the full vision, but it's Cosmine finding one towards Lambert. That tips the scales. That opens up B. That causes the rotate. And suddenly the pistol gets a little bit scarier. The CTs have to put themselves in the right place at the right time. Yeah,
this is a horrible position to be in. You're spread very thin in terms of your CT defense here. You can see them having one player in CT spawn, and we've got Hadji towards the ruins area at the B bomb site. So everyone's pretty much playing a solo role right now, hoping that one player can step up here. It's definitely an advantage for Epsilon overall, and the bomb seems to be heading towards the B bomb site. Still have that smoke and flashbang here. So Freddy B, by himself towards the boiler, can force another rotation from the B side of the map, show some presence here, and try and stay alive. He doesn't necessarily have to get a kill. He just needs to show he's there. They've got the smoke on the other side there, smoking towards CT spawn, and then there's one player. Hadji, he needs to step up here tremendously from new boxes.
Perfect work from the A side of things. That's all done. It's Hadji, eyes towards him. They've got to check new box. They have to check this. We've seen what's happened recently. He's gone away with murder here. That's one. Oh, a second's perfect. And now it's just Smooya. A 1v2 certainly possible. The man is capable. And you're going to see it right now. But 10 seconds. He wants the plant. And VKL's pushing for this. He's eyeing it up. He wants a bit of this one. The USPS surely favored at this range. And Smooya knows it. Going to switch up to his own. And VKL gets closer and closer. Flashco down. VKL absolutely destroys him.
Oh, wow, what a round that was. Hiding behind the new boxes. He said he had to step up there, Lauren. What an intelligent play that was. The fact is, he didn't want to take any shots. He wanted to stay fully committed, and he's hiding behind new boxes, using the sound cues to find himself real strong positional control here. Look, they have no idea he's there. They think they've checked new boxes, but no, they haven't. He denies them the plant there. Smooya comes in for the 1v1, but like he said, completely wrecked there by VKL. Very good round there. A good recovery from Envyus generally. We said that round was looking bleak for them, but they stepped up. Bomb does get planted for Epsilon, though. They will be buying up AKs in the third round. Did have the option to go aggressive buy here in the second, but gone for a more conservative approach. A few grenades towards top and middle. Doesn't inflict any damage just yet to the CT side. So a chance for Envyus just to calm down here. I don't like the approach of all the SMGs, but it's Inferno, close range map. They should be fine against the AKs, generally speaking. They might want to upgrade a couple of those.
I do get a little scared when they start pushing down Banana. Normally I'm a huge advocate for it, but it just scares me in these rounds. There's always that chance of being picked up by a P250 close. It just gets a little scary. They have kind of chilled out a little bit here. They've used their early utility. Ambert wakes up on that one. Gets a little bit of a tickle there, but it's nothing too threatening just yet. It's when you lose a player or you lose a bit of ground, it all gets a little bit scary, but Jax is going to find Barbar. So, again, all looking okay at the moment for Envyus. They're keeping this together. Still have flashes and still getting kills. Epsilon trying to work through mid, trying to bait someone into a bit more of a commitment here, and, well, Envyus having none of it. Yeah,
smooth sailing him, I have to say, from Envyus. Sure, it's Epsilon in the full EK, but they haven't given really anything away. The bomb will not be planted here. Not a single player drops. Just Maeve now towards T-spawn. I don't think he'll be able to get much done here. Jax takes him down. Decent round there. Once again, Envyus looking strong, but this is where things really count now. That's an eco round where they got the bomb down and the pistol, meaning they can buy up in this third round. It's currently considered an early buy. You're generally expected to buy in the fourth round, but if you get that bomb down, you can flirt with this idea. So 4 AKs coming out. Barbar with the UMP, opting for a bit more utility there. And now, surely, Envyus, I was speculating whether they'd upgrade one of these SMGs. Apparently not. But this is a chance to maybe go aggressive. You see they're sending 3 players towards Banana for now. Doesn't look like they'll be pushing necessarily, but they will be smoking at the top. Maybe challenging for the first frag at least.
Yeah, Lambert going to use his smoke early, which is the one you saw going from the back of those ruins. Allows the 2 players who play dedicated towards B to retain their smokes and their utility. It just kind of loosens that a little bit up. And now you can see Epsilon, their response. It looks like a bit of abs control coming back in.
Well, there we go. Very depot round from Epsilon for sure. Oh! It actually happens. The wall bang. I haven't seen a frag from that in a very long time, and it works out there. Takes down Petaskill. And okay, now it's getting interesting. VKL fighting back though. Frags all over the place, but it's the CT stepping up here at the Banana bomb site. We did say they need to get aggressive there. With those SMGs, they're fighting back, and they have the advantage for now.
What a brilliant response. Fighting back for map control and really pushing this one as far as it can go. You're down to 3. You've still got Freddy B up, who's a big, big factor in these sort of situations. He can maybe find a little room to play with here, but again, he's going to be working against the odds. A 1v3 essentially on this side. He does have support. Spots out Hadji, and there's no instant swing support on this one. Bear in mind, Lambert's on the site quite close by. And again, doesn't have to commit to this. Doesn't have to push. They've still got 40 seconds. You can see Envy starting to get, feel a bit of the pressure here. The HP is low.
Wow.
Great timing on the peak there from Lambert. Brave as you like. I wouldn't have gone for that one, but if he's feeling he can get this one done, maybe he can keep going for that sort of play, but we're down to the last 2. Maeve and Barbar going to make a quick hit towards B, I can imagine. Yeah,
this has been a brawl of a round, I have to say, but 20 seconds remains now to be Barbar and Maeve. They still have a chance of winning this one. AK's in hand as well. Find this first kill. It's VKL by himself, but he's been a menace this round. He's only got 30 points of health. Needs to buy as much time as he can. Doesn't have to challenge for these frags. That's why he hides in the back right.
Yeah, this is brilliant. It's making Epsilon incredibly uncomfortable. He's been smoked out, mollied out, but still they need to get these kills on fast. 5 seconds, it's all over, surely. Maeve can't do any more. Kills are great, but it's not enough. 3 alive for Envyus, and they are fighting hard on this one. They're playing a lovely brand of CS here.
That's what we call a hard bonus round for the CTs at that point as well. You've saved lesser weapon, and you know the AKs are coming out, you've taken a gamble, you haven't upgraded anything, and you're going aggressive towards Manada and winning those fights as well. What a performance from VKL in that round in particular. He finds 2 kills early on at the Banana area, pulls back, low HP as well. We say he just needs to stay alive. What a job he does there as well. Finds the 3rd kill, hiding in the back right, delaying them so much. Sure, they kill him, but the round's already over. You pointed it out. As soon as he went down, he manages to keep the dream alive there for Envyus. Big round for them to pick up. Epsilon, no bomb going down. Has to be an eco, just down to the pistols at this point.
And I'm liking this. I really am. We're seeing a really nice game from Envyus. You know, I'd love to say, you know, the storyline piece of, oh man, like the coach is bringing in this, you know, tier 1 style. It's not as such that. It's just good games. You know, we're seeing Envyus playing a very, very nice performance so far, but a little bit of a trade-out at the moment. It's Lambert and Freddy B both falling for each other's side, of course. If you lose out to pistols, you're not feeling so great about it. And Hachi's in the middle of nowhere. He got baited into that. He wanted the fight, maybe a little too confident. Barbar to punish.
Yeah.
And now things get a little scary here.
Yeah, no need for that frag to go against him there. The CTs knew they were up against an eco. Maybe a little bit too aggressive, but Jax is rectifying previous mistakes here, finds the kill on Barbar, and gives them the man advantage once again. But Smooya and Maeve, they have managed to at least salvage some weaponry here. They haven't got armor to work with, but they have got the AK-47. Smooya, one of the hardest hitting players available for Epsilon. They still have a shout within this round, but it's certainly going to be a reach for them.
Petit Scale, again, needs to be a little bit of a nuisance more than anything, a bit of a thorn in the side, because he can't take the straight fights, but Jax can, and Jax is there. Backbone of the side so far as well. 3 kills that round. A little bit of an overcommitment towards middle, made that round look a little bit scarier than it actually was.
Yeah, so every kill counts Counter-Strike. Sure, they don't win the round, but they're actually keeping the CTs quite modest there by finding frags, and you need to be very careful there. You might just think it's 1 kill, but that could hurt you going forward as well. It's a lot of money to give away. Each kill worth on average about 5k. You give one of those away for free, you need to be considering what the implication of that is going forward. But still, we're going to round number 5. It's 4-0 for Envyus, looking very good now. Lambert with the first AWP, but the same story for Smooya as well. Potentially one of the most talented players on the server right now. We'll see if he can step up there. Problem is, if he's on the CT side right now, I think it's a great chance for him to get in and warmed up with the AWP. It's very difficult, Lauren, on the T side of Inferno to really have a significant impact. You have this early stage of the round where you can find picks. If you don't get anything, then you're going to be struggling to have any sort of significant impact.
He flies towards it. Freddy B going through the motions. We know he likes to do the spam. He got the kill from it. I saw your face light up. A bit of a wall bang always keeps you happy.
Sure, absolutely. It's quite a rare thing to see in
Really
CSGO,
is.
so it's quite cool.
Everyone goes for it, but that time it did work. So let's see what Epsilon are doing here. We do see deep smokes, deep flash. And a lot of presence shown towards A, to be fair. They're not necessarily committing towards it. You can see they've caused a rotate. They've pulled over Jax, but Lambert holds his own and holds his ground. He can follow up. Needs to fall back, needs to buy more time, and he's doing well. Little panicked, a little desperate, but he's made it back, and he's quelled it thus far.
That's absolutely fine, but that is not. Jax gives his kill away for free there. No need for him to go down whatsoever. They know there's players on that other side of the map, and now he's left his teammate in a horrible situation. If the smoke's down in CT spawn, Lambert has to step up here with the AWP. Can he hit the first shot? Not quite just yet. It's going to be Cosmin that takes him down.
And VK and Haji, nice boost. This could be a problem. 30 seconds left. He falls off it, maybe not quite finding the shot as quickly as he'd like. And now the mollies come in. The walls go up here. This should be quite likely the first one for Epsilon. So everything's looking good for them. 4 alive, decent after-plant positions. VKL's there, sure, but steps have been made. It's all been heard. Almost no utility now left as well. They have to go here. Maeve's too aware of Hachi's plans, and VKL fancies a shot at it, but look at this after-plant. It's well-rounded. It's got it all. I don't see them breaking in.
No, certainly not. Last kill should be coming in momentarily. There it is in the first round for Epsilon there. And you have to say, Lauren, they had that 5-on-4 advantage. There was no reason for that player in CD spawn to give his frag away for no reason there. Absolutely. Like, that's a very common pre-fire there. A player like Barbar, you coming in, you're pre-firing that. That's when you fire just before. You're not really basing on a reaction. You're basing on hoping that someone's going to be there. Very common spot. He didn't have to face her at all. His teammate's there with the AWP. He's stopping them walking in. You can fall back and play in the crossfire, but he gave it away for free. And then the AWP, that's in a horrible situation at that point. But still, Envyus still with decent money. You can see the AWP out once again. 4-4s. A little bit of aggression here. Deep Molotov towards the bottom of their banana, and a close one as well. Stops them rushing up, as you can see right now.
Yeah, they opted for a deeper smoke. Maybe not feeling much early pressure towards A. Lambert last time did the kind of closer to the top of B smoke. Now they're furthering it down, maybe feeling they can fight for this control. Freddy, again, hoping something connects. No one's there this time. They're playing further down on the balcony ledge.
Yeah.
Nice little spot for Petit Scale. He'll fall off this one as soon as he feels pressure, but you can see them spamming here, just clearing all the normal spots, all the boosts. You can just work your way through it, make it very hard for the CTs to feel comfortable.
Yeah, it's basic map control. It's Envyus almost giving up middle though. They're happy for Epsilon to have mid control, but you can see on the B side of the map, we have VKL by himself. They dumped a lot of utility to the start, as we saw. The incendiary grenades chucked at the start to deny the rush and give them basic control of that situation, but it has meant VKL has got that position by himself now. You see his teammates backing up the A bomb side. Bit of a gamble in that respect, but they're still fine for now. Lambert still willing to challenge towards Arch. His teammate flashes in, it's good, but can't quite find the frag.
Oh, Lambert, though, is going to make this count. Beautiful work from him. You saw the panic before, but now looks cool, calm, and collected. But he's actually backed away from this, maybe feeling it was going to be a B, but no, the bomb is there. Freddy B's up by quad. Smoke goes in, covers him off a little from Graveyard and deeper towards the site, but 3 players to break through. Good crossfire set, incredibly hard to dismantle. But he does have Smooya with him, but Smooya's making limited moves. 20 seconds. I don't see what options they have here. They need fast kills, and they need them right about now. Caught on the edge of the... Ooh, that looked a little closer than I'd like. Petit Scale does actually find Freddy B, but it's Smooya left with 10 seconds. Surely not going to happen, no. Caught in the heels and not to be seen. It's Envyus with another, striking right back at this. I have to say, the amount of faith they're putting in VKL later into the round is huge, and it seems good so far. He seems to be handling it well.
He's got the core fundamentals of that anchor position down. He's not challenging for crazy frags or trying to mow them all down. He's getting information, calculated aggression at that point. He's getting in so he can fall back. He's got different points and defensive lines to hold, and that's great. VKL doing a very good job in that respect. He means that A bomb site can be so strong, Lauren. You saw 4 players there ready in the crossfires. No reply from Epsilon whatsoever, and they're going for the straight-up B rush here. It's a little bit desperate. The VKL, another good position for him. Couldn't find the big spray down here. He doesn't even get one. It's Freddy B to take him down. And here we go, a chance now for Epsilon. They crack open the B bomb site, but Hadji holding the tail here.
2 on the flank. Cosmene's watching. As soon as that smoke goes in, someone could have worked off that quick. They didn't. They held off. So, Petit Scale, going to be working from CT. A little bit of a boost possibly to come through here, but Cosmene, he's kind of keeping in mind. He's occluding it from vision. They can't really fight this. They probably don't expect him here this close. You can see them trying to pre-fire it. He's now going to hit 2, but again, with that clock ticking, Envy are going to start considering, do we just keep these guns? How do we play this one out? I don't see many options here. Good flash comes in, but it catches them. Too much so, but the kill still comes through for Lambert, who's starting to build up here. Smooya says no to the retake. The clock ticks further, and these 2 remaining players have no options left.
A straight-up B rush there from Epsilon. It was the 4th buy. They got reset in the previous round, meaning the money was very low indeed. They had 3 AKs, a couple of pistols as well, and said, you know what, we're going to challenge here. We know Envyus are at least trying to fight at the top of Banana at this point, so we're going to try and get refrags there. It worked out in a spectacular fashion at that point. They made it down to the 3-on-3. B pointed out the utility usage there from the T side, locking off that Banana area as well. That's where the CTs opted to try and retake the bomb site from. Denied by Smoke. So much time wasted there. Tried to fully commit, but the flashbangs were too good there. Epsilon recovering very nicely. Haven't quite broken Envyus just yet. You can see there is another buy coming in, but a couple of SMGs, M4s there, and that final AWP suggests this will be the last buy for Envyus. They do lose this round, they'll be down to pistols themselves.
But I'm liking what I'm seeing from Lambert so far. I'll probably say this, he'll get 1 tapped, but this is what I enjoy. A bit of mid-aggression. It's very, very risky, though.
Yeah. Especially
when it's the rifler pushing down. It was Hadji going there, not any of the UMPs that you've got 2 of, no. It was the one guy who's really bolstering the numbers here towards A. Bear in mind the 2 players on B are the ones with the lesser rifles here. They're working with those UMPs as best they can, but they have the extra Molotovs. There's a balance to be struck. And now let's see what Epsilon do. They've quelled the threat early on. There's no aggression. Banana aggression can't happen. They can't do it this round. They don't have the necessary. So, bit of early mid-control now. Starting to be exuded. Starting to gain a little bit of information, but Envyus are quite happy playing passive so far.
Yeah, I feel like Epsilon will do better just sticking to that 5-man unit, going with the fast-paced strategy. They've probably got a higher skill ceiling, as we discussed in the pre-game. When they go with these defaults, that's when it seems to fall apart. Lambert now looking with the first frag. Can't quite find the shot, though. He's surely going to be punished at this point. Needs the no-scope. That's Lambert. Down he goes. Barbar finds him. And now desperate times once again to the B-bomb side. But this time, Jax is backing up VKL, but look at the firepower. It's just non-existent. And another lovely shot there from Barbar.
Yeah, you kind of want almost Epsilon to come in this with a little bit more fire under them. Play that aim game, play a little bit, that brand of CS they've made their own.
Yeah.
And this round's very much still on. Do not look at the players just yet, because look at Petit Scale's positioning and look at that bomb. This could still be a problem, but no. Smart play, even with 22 seconds left. He needs to get his knife out and get running, bear in mind here. This is, the clock is
it's still
dwindling. He's all right. It's just at the moment he's like walking up quad, I'm like, that's the one place you don't want to go.
Yes.
Please don't go there.
Well, that was quite lovely from Epsilon in general. The fact is, they got the pinch going there. They found the 2 kills they needed, and they had CT spawn and Banana locked in as well. They could have opted towards the B side, but they read it very nicely in the sense that that's where we had 2 Envyus players waiting on the other side. They fell back, waited for the rotation, started heading towards A. Cosmene stepping up tremendously there, finding the frags required, and there it is, another round for Epsilon. We did say going into that one, Envyus looked like they were just on the brink of financial desperation there. So they should be on pistols this round, I would suspect. As you can see, Barbar takes down Lambert. That was the key frag that Lambert gifted maybe 2 or 3 opportunities, couldn't find the shot, and then Barbar, known to be an AWPer in previous lineups as well. He's a secondary AWPer in this lineup, I'd say, but Smooya is definitely the primary right now, but definitely no slouch with that weapon. So, as we discussed, the pistol's coming out for Envyus, and Hadji did have a little Zeus there, Lauren, but unable to use it. That's the taser for those playing at home.
was a nice little gun. You get close enough, can certainly do some work. But as you can see, superior weaponry really will always be a key factor here. Bit of a free farm this round, 5 alive. Cost being a little lower than maybe you'd like to be, but that doesn't matter. Jax spells very little threat in the grand scheme of things, as everything's gone very well. But in these sort of rounds as well, you can discuss this amongst your teammates. You know, we don't have any real shot at winning these rounds. We haven't invested into it. What can we do in the gun rounds now? Because it looks like, okay, there's a bit of a build back here from Epsilon. They're starting to read the game out. Envy aren't having that free run of things. How do we stop this coming into a real close matchup? Is there an answer we can go to? Is there something simple? What's been the issue?
Well, we'll see what happens here. What's the decision going forward? Envy's had that great start. They managed to negate the force buy from Epsilon and have the 3-0, but ever since the gun rounds have started, it's been obviously a lot more uncomfortable for them. They will be buying into this round, but still not a great buy line. You can see no incendiaries really, one defuse kit, one player down to the UMP as well, and Epsilon, they're fully equipped with the Barbar AWP this time as well, not Smooya. We did say Barbar is the secondary AWPer, but still, we'll be more than happy to try and find some opening picks here as we enter round number 10. At this point, the objective of Epsilon is to try and bleed out the CTs. They know if they have bought up into this one, the money will be very low indeed. Try and bait out any smokes they've got, any incendiaries, then you can execute properly and efficiently against them and have a much easier run at the round.
I would say something about Smooya in this case is that he's, you know, we talk about AWPers being, some of them being good riflers as well. He's incredibly diligent. He puts a lot of work into it. So again, not a big problem for him, but we'll see if it maybe affects anything this round. Barbar and Smooya working off the back of each other. You can see the combination starting to build. She's playing pretty close into this on quad. A lot of contact points here, and that could have been big, being able to isolate the player playing out of Boiler, but no, Freddie B comes out on top. Lambert forced to spray in and hope something connects because the pressure's mounting, and now it's Petty Scale who has to deliver, and he does well. Maeve gets swept aside, and now the support system's here. He's got the player on the site. This is going to really hurt Epsilon. They're going one by one. Cosmine, what's going on? But there's Smooya coming in to save a little bit of the day here. That could have spiraled. Look at the HP left.
Yeah, that was not pretty Counter-Strike whatsoever. They seem apprehensive and a little bit disjointed here, I have to say, Epsilon. Now this round's been thrown away by the looks of things. You're right, Freddie B and Barbar, they didn't really pounce when they had the chance there. Well, as soon as one player goes down, they needed to fight back there. But for some reason, Lambert wants to give up one of the frags. Good news is the bomb is down towards the pit, so it doesn't really make sense that BKL is still towards Banana. I guess they haven't got that information just yet. 15 seconds remaining now. Freddie B makes his way out of the apartments, but surely dealt with by Jax. The UMP, not an issue there, considering the low HP. And there it is. Barbar has to save. So Lauren, let's discuss the outcome of that round. It's looking so good for Epsilon there. Full map control. They had a chance to actually pounce together on the A-bomb side, but as soon as one player went down, the panic set in. The caller kind of went a little bit absent. He wasn't assertive enough with his judgment and what he wanted to do. What was the final play there? They lost the kill, wanted to fall back, realized there was no time to do that, and everyone didn't do anything. And that's the worst way to approach that situation.
Let's bear in mind, a lot of these, you know, I guess, you know, mixed teams as such of different languages is coming together now. Is becoming a new thing. FaZe, of course, a big component of that. A lot of different players speaking a lot of different languages, natively at least, with Epsilon there. So again, I'm curious if that would ever become a factor in those situations where it's very quick pace, where it's very fast, and it's very much, in theory, you'd kind of hope that it's almost beyond that, though, that you're just responding to the situation rather than the calls. But for now, going back to that theory, as VKL is already exuding some dominance down towards Banana. He wants the control early. He wants to force Epsilon to fight it back in, and Jax is the one to find the first, right on through that smoke.
Big kill there for Jax. 5 on 4. Hard work done now. Fall back to the bomb sites. Hold the crossfires. There's no reason to attack any further here. Just to reiterate, the CT's on the defensive side here. So them getting an early frag by that, not that you're taking any damage. That's a great position to be in now. It applies a lot of pressure to Epsilon as they hunt for the next kill. You see Barbar towards the top of middle here with the AWP. But Jax, like I said, they don't have to do that anymore. They've got the advantage here. It's fine to give up mid control at this point as well. Sure, they're trying to keep Epsilon interested and maybe bait out some of the utility, but for now they're looking very strong indeed. They're trying to funnel them towards B, and that's working very nicely indeed. Epsilon have to push for this smoke if they want to go any further, and it will be VKL baited in by Lambert. By the looks of things, and Jax on the bomb side. They're taking a bit of a gamble here, the CTs.
This could be huge. Great flash comes in. It's going to be a massacre. VKL, 4 kills in the end. Huge denial of momentum, and of course the round to boot, but what a brilliant play from him, and very, very confident into that.
Yeah, the synergy, it's all coming together there for Envyus. We said they had the advantage as well. They had an inkling that they funneled them towards that B bomb side as well, and those flashbangs are on. It doesn't get much better than that. Look how blind everyone is. They lined up for him as well. 3 was great, but 4 was magnificent. Lovely stuff from BK, who's having a blinder of a game so far. Very impressive stuff from a player who, let's be fair, hasn't been playing CS at this sort of level for a very long time. He wasn't on anyone's radar until the Elite Series, and now he's stepping up and performing to a spectacular level. Well done 7-4 now. Envyus with a solid lead, but the double orb setup, Lauren. On the T side of Inferno, 1 orb is questionable on the T side of Inferno. 2, I think that's a blunder. I'm not sure where they're going with this one.
I'm not going to doubt it until the end of the round. I've seen them do these sort of things and it kind of working.
Well, everything can technically work, right?
Exactly.
But the amount of money this costs and the way Inferno plays, it doesn't really make sense. But sure, players like Smooya and Barbar, maybe they can make this happen.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe they feel it's just maybe miscommunication, just do what you want, just play your game. That's really what is going on here. This is a very sporadic round. It feels like someone's gone, just play out mix, just play however you want, play it puggy, we don't care this round, just do something, get in their face, because it's kind of worked in a way. They've got full top mid control, they've pushed him back, look at Cosme, look how much ground he's done, he's caused to rotate all by himself. 1 smoke, bit of sound, bit of presence, bit of pressure, and you've caused 2 players to dedicate themselves towards B. And look at this, Hatchi as well, starting to be a little bit worried. They cut off all the information from CT.
A very messy round of Counter-Strike so far, but for now, Epsilon technically do have the advantage. Still that double orb setup. It's a 4-on-4. The attacking side generally have the upper hand because the CT defense has to be spread very thin here. Very silent towards the quad area as well. Smoking out the pit. They'll be with the final commitment. Now the bomb is there. A nice wrap around from Barbar as well. Surely the CT's can't hold this off. Hatchi says no. There's 1 kill for him. And Pettisco actually chimes in as well. Still going to be the advantage here for Envyus as the bomb makes its way to the site. Time running out now. Lambert finds the 4th frag. Smooya, one of the most talented players from the UK, finds the first shot. Can he get anything more done with this? Oh, it's almost there. I was believing for a second there, Lauren. He hits that nose scope, maybe there's something to it, but Envyus holds strong once again.
I'm wondering if there's a timeout coming in at any point during this matchup, because there's a little bit of stubbornness between these teams almost. They don't want to back down and say they almost need it. I feel at this point, it's just keep going through it. It's fine, we're fine, we're fine. But 8-4, you're starting to not feel so fine. Envy have shown some incredible potential here. Some really good rounds, some great individuals. I love the way they're playing out. As soon as they get that 1-man advantage, they'll pull Jax off of B, leave it down to VKL. He's great at locking it down himself, but a quicker pace. That's what Epsilon want to bring. A faster, more puggy, more... Oh, God, a worse... Oh, that one hurts. But yeah, this is nice from Envy. This is confidence building too. Hadji has had a huge performance, specifically in the Elite Series. He is playing out of his mind.
It's been very impressive, I have to say, but this was the eco from Epsilon. It hasn't really equated too much for them. They get 1 frag, but that's all they'll get. Jax shutting it down there as he finds Freddy B. They find themselves also at 9-4. Generally, Epsilon have looked a bit shaky, I have to say. That really weird decision to bring out the double orbs, and they had the advantage there, but still, they go towards quad. They had full control of the bomb side as well, and it seems like when they go for the final commitment, that's when you can see the holes within this team. They seem like they're very apprehensive to make final commitments, and the in-game leader needs to start stepping up and making more solid calls there. It seems like the actual build-up to the round is fine. They get mid-control, they find picks, but it's getting towards that bomb side and making a clutch situation is bad. But here we go, Lambert. Now he's getting confident. You said you like these mid-pushes, and no one's expecting it. Bomb goes down, pushing through the smoke there. That's just superb stuff there from Lambert generally. The fact he's got that kill once again, sure it's a risk, but when he takes the bomb down there, it's just going to throw a spanner in the works and frustrate Epsilon further.
Absolutely love a bit of that.
Yeah.
It's so hard to find that sort of aggression in a map like this as well. Such close quarter combat throughout half of this. Let's look at the way this map plays out. It's very tricky. Banana control, a little bit of the back and forth, but right down mid, that's got to hurt. Smooya does find a reply at least. VKL goes down, so that will weaken the B hold. He's been a pillar of holding that site together. Jax and now Lambert both here, but Lambert showing some real versatility. Straight over towards B. He was over in middle before. Very hard to read that positioning from him. But again, Epsilon do like hitting this A site.
They do indeed. And to be fair, it's B that's been really the success for them.
Yeah.
That's what they've had the B rushes, and that's where they finish things off, and rounds they've been winning as well. It's been that B bomb side, but they insist on going towards quad. This time, though, Smooya finds the kill that's required, but Pettisco has been very good in the pit area. Can he find any more form here? Apparently not. Barbar takes him down. Surely a round for Epsilon here in number 14. It's a 4-on-2 situation. Jackson Lambert doesn't look like they're going for it, Lauren. They will be saving their weaponry here, and Epsilon finally making things happen at the A bomb side.
It feels like it's taken a lifetime to get that going.
Yeah.
Even just the coordination, but I don't know if that was coordination. It was just finally Smooya landing.
I think that's
shots.
exactly what it is. So we've seen some weird approaches here. We know Smooya is the main AWP of this team as well. We had a couple of rounds with Barbar, who's bringing the AWP out, and then we've had rounds with 2 AWPs on the T side of Inferno. I'm telling you right now, that is not a thing. No other top teams running that setup in Inferno right now. So something's going a little bit wrong for them, but maybe some nerves, some panic here. I'm not really sure, but it's not really looking like the well-oiled machine that it should be generally. But Envyus, They're still within a good shout in the next round. They do save 2 weapons. They're quite a conservative approach. Definitely had chance to go for that one, but still saving the AWP. Jax with the M4 as well. It doesn't look like we'll be hunting too hard there from the Epsilon side. Have a look at the cash going forward into the next round, but still, Envyus happy to give 1 away there, and Epsilon add another to their total. I think that's 5 rounds in total now, and we're going to round number 15. So still a decent half for Epsilon generally. Like a team like that with 5 rounds in Inferno, still enough to work with here. Looking for 6, of course, as we enter the final round of the half. Envyus saving those 2 weapons before. Pretty good job that they did. They wouldn't have been able to afford the AWP, so that was a good decision.
But this time, kind of the mid-smoke almost on Banana, not the completely deep one. But look at Freddie B's aggression.
Yeah, it's questionable by yourself to run up like that.
Especially without, support of a flash coming for you. Like, he's flashing himself up there, but if there's no one there to set you up as well, or, flash you in at better timing, you're always going to be at a disadvantage.
The problem is, he probably didn't want to commit that far, but as soon as the Molotov landed on his feet, he kind of had to push through there. That's the unfortunate thing with that one. He ideally wanted to get behind the broken wall and dodge the HEs at the very start, but the Molotov placement was very good. The timing was on point. So Envyus forced him to take the challenge, and fortunately for Freddie B, he does get taken down. So another 5-on-4 favors the French side here. Smooya, the AWP there, we know he's very good with this weapon, hoping that Hadji makes the mistake, but conservative for now. As we've discussed before, the CDs don't have to work hard for these frags now. Allow Epsilon to finally commit, but Maeve, he takes down Lambert, and the opening is found.
They've got to know that Petty Skeleton is going to be here. He plays balcony, he drops to pit almost every single round. And he's going to be hearing Smooya as well. You're hearing that scope in and out. The opponents can hear that at this sort of close range, very much just very thin wall apart. But they've pulled 3 players now over towards A, showing just that sound, that little bit of presence will keep them here to a degree. Now, they're going to wonder what's happening at this point. That's why they're pulling Jax all the way back towards B. Epsilon are trying to pull these rotates, but it's hard, it's tricky. Smooya isn't expecting it. In the back, the bullets come in, and Hadji catch you in the heels. It's got to be a tricky one to handle. The bomb's now caught in an awkward predicament. Do we go B? We kind of have to. We've got 20 seconds. We've got to go right about now. 2 players waiting. And it's Jax's VKL, the dominant duo of that B site. Can they do it again? Well, Jax certainly can. That's great. And now his teammate can work in. It's VKL there. And as said, that dastardly duo just seems to deliver. And with 6 seconds left, there's nothing to be done here for Maeve. He knows it as well. Except the fate. A great half in the end for Envy there. A couple of rounds certainly came back in for Epsilon. But as a collective, it was an Envy show.
Absolutely. Double digits for them, 10 rounds placed to Epsilon's 5. So they're looking good today, I have to say. Epsilon struggling at times. We discussed the ideas of them not really looking like a 5-man unit right now. It seems like they're all playing for themselves. Like we saw, double AWPs on the Seaside Inferno. That shouldn't be happening. Maybe they're having disagreement as to who should be AWPing right now, or maybe they're just buying it and not really thinking about it. Then we saw the apprehensive play try and get towards the A-bomb site. It seems like it was falling apart at times for them. But Envyus had some dodgy rounds as well, but generally that B-bomb site, that was looking very good at times. A-bomb site as well, but Epsilon, we know they've got skill. They managed to prevail on a few. And like we said, 5 rounds, still enough. This one's not over by any stretch of the imagination.
No, not at all. We can hear the Epsilon side quite quiet, really. Not too talkative. I can hear the French side from here being very, very talkative behind me. They're having a good chat going into this, of course, probably a little bit more pumped up, feeling the game out a little bit more, feeling confident. Everything's feeling good for us. Obviously, on the other side, not so much the case. Freddie B doing the old JW, having a little peek down, but actually a nice little route from Envyus, taking the T-Apps route, but they're going to hear this, and I think Epsilon have a good idea of what could be coming their way. You can see the pressure about to build. I wonder if they're going to break on it. They are. They're going straight through Apps. It's the B-Apps rush, and it's gone about as well as you can expect. And that's not very. Freddie B and Smooya just landing shots back to back. They haven't really forgotten too much here. A quick push down Banana as well. A lovely pinch from Cosmine. And sadly for Envy, they don't get that punch they needed.
That seemed like one of those gut instinct calls from the French side there. They thought they found an opening, but still the round not done quite yet. Jax does take down Smooya, but Cosmine with his second frag of the round. That should tie things up now. 4 versus 1, and Jax, surely he doesn't get another kill here. You've got the bomb down in pit for Epsilon right now. No reason to really challenge him. At this point, we just need Cosmine to stay alive.
Yep.
Any kill they give Jax is $300 in the bag. That might not sound like much, but going forward, that's definitely something. He gets 2 more, $600. It does rack up reasonably quickly, but Cosmine finds the final frag, and Epsilon right back in this game now. That potentially means they get a 3-0 start in the second half. No bomb plant for Envyus. They could force by in the second round, a lot of teams will, and we can see Lambert with the Desert Eagle body armor combo. Similar story for everyone else as well. A lot of Deagles coming out here. P250 there for VKL with head armor as well. Only 1 flashbang so far. That's a bit of an issue. It's very difficult to really get anything done. 1 smoke for Jax. Okay, so now they can at least go towards a bomb site, eradicate 1 risk, and go in together.
Let's see what the plan is. Not quite the nuke on Banana that you can see unleashed. What is Freddie B rocking? He's got Gone for the shotgun, all right.
Yeah, that's...
If you're on the balcony, I guess.
It's avant-garde, I would say. We'll see whether that works out for him. No,
I don't mind it here.
I do.
Just spam it.
I detest it.
What would you prefer?
Just get something that's viable for the future, really. Like, not something that's going to be very limited in the later stages of the game. Like, a UMP would be fine. The auto shotgun is entertaining, right? But I've just never been a fan of the shotguns of CSGO.
You like it?
Max
the
7's pretty cool.
Sort of style, don't you? You're a classic CS man. You're not into that shotgun sort of mess.
I think the Max 7's cool because you have to really position yourself really well, and then you have one shot, and if you nail it, then you get rewarded, right? But the auto shotgun, I just hate to see it, or the spamming of it and all that sort of thing.
Yeah, it's not quite what we'd like to see, but if it works, it works, and you can't really question it if it's going to get you to that first place. Now, Smooya is the one who's going to be controlling a lot of what Envy put towards him. If they continue down towards CT Arch, there's 2 players there now. He's going to spot them out. Problem is that he doesn't have much information. Now the B players are in a little bit of a pickle. Yeah, VKL fighting Maeve. That is a disaster. Now it's down to Cosmine. He's got players left, right, center, up, down. It's just about everywhere. He falls back off this, buying time. 30 seconds, takes the fight. Good work. Down to 17 though. Couldn't quite make it stick on the second, but look at this. She's found Smooya in the meantime. This is terrifying. This is where the shotgun becomes horrible.
Yep.
Playing retake with it.
This is a desperate situation now for Epsilon after winning the pistol as well. It's all falling apart. They still have a chance to win this one, but Freddy B with the shotgun, Barbar with 36 HP. It's not looking great. There's 1 kill now. Another auto shotgun. It'll be a perfect demonstration as to how useless that weapon can be. Sure, it's viable at the start of the round. You're up against the rush, something like that, but as soon as things go wrong, if the retake a bomb site, that's when the shotgun shows its weaknesses there. And unfortunately for Epsilon, giving that round away. And it seems like they lost control of the CT spawn area, and that's where it happened. And you can see them trying to buy as much time. Cosmin did a good job. He found 1 kill, dropped down, got a second, but they swarmed in then. Once they got control of the bomb site there, the lack of HP and firepower generally gave the round away. Epsilon, though, they'll be 4 spying here in round number 3 as well. Deagles, PT50s, and the Cosmin UMP. We'll see where we can find anything with this one, but Hachi pulls up a banana. Could be a good little grenade there. Does a lot of damage there towards Cosmin. Hits him in the face, down to 76. He flashes over, tries to find the first frag. Can't get it, though. Did damage, but not quite enough, and a missed smoke there as well. Hate to see that from Maeve.
Yeah, a little awkward now, isn't it? They're banking on these Deagles, just banging out shots, and sadly the Deagles aren't even in the right place, really. The 3 of them on the other side now. Maeve is going to watch the world burn around him, and he can't do anything about it. The molly's spreading closer and closer, but he will be safe for now, but they're going to check on it, and they know it. They know what they've covered, they know what they haven't, and they instantly look toward it. Beautiful stuff from Envy.
Yeah, just for any new viewers out there as well, the reason I say the smoke was bad there, he's trying to throw that smoke grenade towards the entrance of the bomb site. That buys him some time. Generally about 15 seconds, he can deny the terrorists coming towards the bomb site. I'm not saying that would affect the outcome of the round, but the fact he drops that and misses it means that the T's can actually just come in and have an open bomb site, not have to really worry about too much. So it still wouldn't have really affected the outcome, but still he might have found a couple of kills, who knows. So we go into the next round after the 4 spy from Epsilon there. That suggests they're going to have to be EK Lauren. It's going to be 12-6 here, potentially 13. They need that round to work out for them, but a masterclass there from Envyus and how to play the anti-eco situation, or the anti-4 spy, I guess you could call it.
I'd say many moons ago, French teams were kind of known for being very good at these rounds. You used to see it on Cash with, you know, I guess it was the Kenny S boys who used to do the mollies towards B. Invest quite heavily into it, but they'd always do very well. It's
definitely worth investing all your grenades. A map like Inferno and a game like CSGO where the pistols are so prevalent, you want to be making sure you're dropping your Molotovs, your smoke grenades, eradicating those risks, making sure you're going into the 5-man unit and refragging. We call it the buddy system, but generally that's actually a really fitting name for it. The fact is, anyone goes down, you need a secondary player there to be actually finding their frag. That's why you don't want to ever see anyone go down in CSGO, but someone there with you to actually get the refrag is what we call it. This should be quite an easy run here for Envyus in round number 19. Up against the pistols once again, but it's different than the previous round. Before, Epsilon had the armor to work and give them the protection and more grounds to really fight for those frags. They can't really do that now. They get shot with a single bullet, even into the chest or to the leg. Your crosshair goes up, and you can't really do anything about it. But 3 players now towards the B-bomb side, showing their hand with the Deagles as well. I suggest that maybe Envyus fall back here, but not going to be surrendering just yet. They'll be holding on to the B-bomb side. And with the bomb at T steps as well, they're just going to bide their time. They're not going to be giving anything away just yet.
You can see at the moment, Epsilon are mounting a little bit of a counter-attack, but they're being watched. As soon as they press this corner, ooh, Barbar, that's a shot and a half, but there's the reply you expect to see. Envy finding 3. Last man standing is Smooya over by 8. A mere 22 HP. Spots a player out, but don't know how much room he's going to find to work here. Very tricky to find an angle. Jax is watching this with eyes trained, ready for this one, and there it is. Jax to find it, Smooya goes down, and it's Envy now striding towards that first map in their pocket. This is a very, very diligent approach to the map that we're seeing.
Yeah, they're looking great right now. This has been an absolute masterclass on Inferno. CT side was good, but the T side, the recovery from them after losing the pistol as well is looking fantastic. Epsilon, Lauren, still not recovered here. They can buy into this round, but we're not going to have the star players on the AWPs. We're not going to see Smooya with even M4 here. Maeve as well on the UMP. It's a struggle. One kit available, one incendiary. Smooya about to smoke as well. It's looking a little bit desperate. They have to work a bit harder for these frags at the start. You see nades coming in there, not really doing too much damage here. Envyus right now trying to push the CTs back and try and get control of this banana area once again. But Maeve, that's what we're talking about, the smoke. This time he lands it and buys himself some time.
Going to force T-side back a little bit. Don't fancy it. They don't want to risk it. They don't need to risk anything. They still have great utility. A Mac 10 on Hadji, but if he can find room for that to make a play in, really frustrating and certainly valuable. No head armor towards Epsilon, so it does become possible. Lambert going to go for the deeper smoke towards Library. It's right at the back. Gives them a bit of an opportunity to start that applying the pressure. This is brilliant. Look at this smoke piece coming out from Envy. This is lovely. You don't see this often. A wraparound from CTR, almost SKS at this point. Something they made famous, but is there a reply? Can they make it count, or is Freddy... Oh, the denial is huge, but no more to be seen. The clock comes out, and that's how that one ends? 46 seconds left. A bomb plant comes through, and Epsilon on the retake.
Yeah, this has been a brawl round. Beautiful CS to begin with, but scrappy towards the end. Still within a shadow of this round is Epsilon, but they have to pick up the defuse kit, but Cosmine goes down. That should be it now. We say Smooth is good, but whether he can find both of these kills and win the round, it seems a little bit out of his reach for now. He'll be saving the M4, and that will be it. Envyus 14 rounds, Epsilon 6. Envyus, you have to say that on. That is beautiful stuff there. Those executions, even at the top tier CS, you don't really see them out on point. All the smokes coming together, the timings are there, the flashbangs are great. They're finding the refrags. Sure, Freddy B put up a bit of a wall there, but still recovered, win the round, job done.
See, this is what I like to see. This is what you expect from the best teams here as well.
Yeah.
This level, because Envyus and Epsilon both play against high-tier teams. You know, the best in the world. They do the practices out there. They may not play with officials all the time, but this is what you expect to see. They have these in their pocket.
Yeah.
We didn't really see that from Epsilon, though. I don't feel we've seen this side of them.
What's good as well about this level of Counter-Strike as well, these guys get a lot of time to practice. They're not on the road every single week in, week out. They're not flying around the world playing all the events like all the obviously top tier teams like we're used to seeing at the majors and obviously the bigger events in the stadiums and stuff. But these guys, they get to watch all those guys play all the time. They get to develop their own strategies, their set pieces, and get that synergy down, which a lot of the top teams don't have time to do. They don't have time to drill all those executions. They rely very heavily on the fundamentals of Counter-Strike and working as a team. But that's why you get to see. That's why I love watching this kind of Counter-Strike sometimes, to see the creativity we can see. We think back to the major qualifiers when Big were just coming on the circuit. Some of the executions they were bringing to the table as well, because they didn't have to go to every single event. They could work on their strategies and their set pieces, and that's what we're seeing from Envyus right now as well.
Let's have a little look down the line of Epsilon. This is their timeout. I'm not hearing too much in the form of talking. It's a technical one here, so just fixing whatever up. Looking all dejected, and I don't really blame them. This was meant to be one of the hotter games for these guys. And it's been a little flat. We haven't seen Smooth going off. He's on what, 11 kills at the moment?
Yeah, he has.
Barbar, quiet, 8, maybe. Yeah, maybe I don't put on this huge pedestal. A lot of players, a lot of people will. They'll rate him incredibly highly. Same with Cosmine. They're fine. They hold their own. But it's like I expect Barbar, Freddy B, and Smooth. Those are the three that I look at to do a little more than the others. Not really seen that, but it's not even the individuals. We look at Envy. They've had individual firepower. They've had great rotates on the CT. They've got brilliant execution, and hey, look, if it helps you relax, why not kick back?
Why not?
It's a technical timeout. What else are you going to do?
Let's have a little relax there. Revitalize yourself.
I almost hope the chair does break a little bit. You know, does the Freakazoid just kind of falls apart?
What, just to immortalize him on the internet forever?
Why not?
You know?
Why not?
Yeah.
Live your life out as a meme. It's the best way forward, isn't it?
Well, we are here in the beautiful Gfinity Arena. It is nice here, isn't it, Lauren?
It is.
It is very pretty. It's nice that the UK guys get a chance to kind of come in here every week and actually have a chance to showcase their talents. We are seeing more and more players get a reputation for being very talented and very skilled.
These environments help a player to, you know, really bring their game up.
Yep.
From going to the local events, you know, just playing with your friends, and then you build up, you play online. That's all good and well. You can be a decent team as well. Bear in mind, these two teams are very, very good. But you come to a studio environment, you're on the stage, you've got a crowd, you've got pressure building. Yep. This opens up a huge opportunity of new skills to come through to these players that maybe they could bring to an even higher scene.
Yeah, it's
so
great.
A lot of opportunities
It's all about developing talent and finding these new teams and allowing them to have a platform to play on. And it's been great so far. Like I said, I hadn't heard of any of these Envyus players before the Elite Series. Now we're seeing them play magnificent CS and showing us they potentially could compete on the world circuit. And we'll see whether that develops as the year goes on. But for now, we're still in this game. It's going to be 14-6 in favor of Envyus. We just had a little technical pause there. Epsilon will be forcing into this situation. They're going to have an array of SMGs and 1M4 in the hands of Smooya. Going aggressive. He's burning alive. He doesn't get too badly affected there, down to 60 points of health.
Smoke doesn't even work that well, sadly, for him. He does get out, but look at the pressure coming up Banana. Still 3 players pretty much here. 2 players on apartments pushing back from Epsilon, so they have information. If they go too far, Jax will probably take him down. And has Jax forgot to buy armor, or is he over-purchased here?
I would say it's the former.
Jax.
Yeah, he definitely has.
3.4k casually in the bank.
Oh, if he dies to like a pistol or an SMG, that's such a blunder. So now there's lesser weaponries. The lesser weapons for Epsilon become a lot more powerful just to him. He's forgotten to buy armor. He's had a tactical timeout as well. So he's had time to really think about that decision and just forgot to do it. Hate to see that.
Oh, and Barbar out of everyone.
Doesn't matter though.
Still lovely. Crisp as you like, isn't it?
No armor, no problem.
Has to even play, you know, almost more precise. Every angle's now incredibly terrifying. But while that happens, they are working up B. They are making that pressure count on Banana. And they've retained utility too. So we can see a nice hit here if they fancy it. If they want to put all those Molotovs down that they did before, this could be a possibility.
Well, here we go. Could be the closing sectors of the game. It's a 5-on-4 with Smooya down to 9 HP as well. It looks like it will be the B finish. Look at Jax as well. He's in CT spawn. He's just picking them apart one by one. This round is done. How do you hold them off? They still have 2 players towards the B bomb side. Smooya on low HP though. Can't really fight with his teammate. He'll be punished. And there it is. Map point for Envyus. Great game of CS and them generally. They've looked very good. They haven't won both pistols. They lost one in the second half as well. This has just been a very clean and clinical performance on the T side. And it seems like Epsilon have been chasing them ever since. That's why I said if we'd had a CT start for Epsilon, I feel like they had a deeper run in this one, just because that's when the orbs become a lot more dangerous. Exactly. That's when it's a thing. They haven't brought the orbs out once on the CD side because they just haven't had the money. They've just been chasing the entire time.
And this scares me for the likes of Train. If they get off to a bad start, very hard to recover, but they still need to get past this. And Smooth's going for a run. He's gone for a walkabout. Clearly annoyed, clearly frustrated, and it does not work out well. Envyus punishing hard. VKL at the helm of this. It's looking good for the French side here. 4 players standing and well. There it is. 16 rounds pocketed pretty swiftly in the end. Envyus, you gotta say, they looked solid throughout that. They showed individual power, team collective, you know, everything worked well for them. Where were Epsilon?
They were non-existent here today, Lauren, I have to say. It's the first map, and there seems to be some sort of nerves here. There's something not quite right about this team. They're apprehensive with their approach. It just don't seem like the well-oiled machine we're used to seeing. We know they're talented, but the team play's just not there right now.
I can imagine that's going to be a bit of a topic for the desk. Tom and the boys, are you ready to break this one down? Because I'm kind of curious what you think about what's been going right and wrong for these two teams.
Well, indeed, a lot to chat about with them. A lot of high fives going on. Just one held back there for a second. That was the former coach with the current coach. That win guarantees Envyus the top spot. So this second map, you know, we already know how the standings are going to be, but it was a dominant performance from Envyus, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was very one-sided in terms of the overall scheme of things, I suppose. It didn't feel like they ever lost like the actual game or had control of the game, the entire situation, basically.
And what can Epsilon do now? Reflect on it? Smooya at one point was just leant back in a tactical timeout, just relaxing.
Technical.
Yeah, a technical timeout, but he was relaxing, wasn't he?
Yeah, taking it easy. I don't think there's not a huge amount of pressure on them. They can take it easy. They can relax. Going into the second map, like Ben said, he expects them to win each other's map picks. Could happen. I don't feel like Epsilon really are playing their full game in this at all. They don't want to give anything away for the finals.
Interesting indeed. Right, we have a map 2 coming up very, very shortly. We start analysing that in just a few moments.
Okay, so we are halfway through our final game this evening. It's very tense. It's been a very long day, and it's been just a sort of a early morning / afternoon filled with. I'm trying to find words. As Tom said earlier, I'm lost for words. Just for the feel of the
Fatigued,
day.
I guess? I don't know.
Fatigued is a great word.
Day starts at 12, finishes around 11, but luckily we have 2 sets of casters, obviously. Me and Jackie did the first, games 1 and 3, so we usually done about 7, but the real heroes are the casters, that do the games 2nd and 4th.
Now, Snods, please let's talk about the first half of this day, or the majority of the day, pretty much. We had Infused against Excel, that first game. We had then Reason
versus Endpoint.
Endpoint. That was...
And then it was Prophecy Method, yeah. So in terms of the storylines, obviously massive win for Excel to take the 2-0 versus Infused. Obviously, Infused, they needed 1 map to qualify for the top 4, and yes, right, you might think the players are overreacting to making it into the playoffs, but simply put, it's a £10,000 difference from that 1 map win. So the fact they lost it 0-2, and especially when they had the match point and the 15-9 lead, they let it slip, unfortunate scenes, then the players were so upset.
Now, you've been with us from the beginning. Can you describe sort of the change in the players at this point? Because I feel like today has been such a monumental day from the beginning itself. Yeah, a lot of teams have started off well and, fallen flat eventually throughout the rest of the season. I mean, Prophecy's a good one. Started off towards the top ends of the table and now just finishing 3rd, and obviously just lost the map there to Method. Excel be the complete opposite, more of like a Cinderella story. Started off towards the bottom, 7th to 8th, and then somehow, someway, the last 3 weeks, they just managed to claw it back up and finish 4th. Now, I was out in the crowd with Excel watching Endpoint, and they were kind of like hoping that they would slip up. It was quite emotional to see Boaster and looking at Pickles head in hands. Pickles was so upset. I mean, these players really do sacrifice their lives. I mean, Pickles as well quit his job for the Elite Series to go full-time as a professional gamer. And obviously when you commit and devote your life to this and then suddenly it doesn't go your way, of course you're going to be upset. And also, I feel like everyone's mentioned him, Neil M. Not happy, was he? Angry at some of the players, angry at himself. Yeah, I mean, these players, even the coach, yes, you might not be playing as much as the players do, but you're still just as invested. Now, going forward, I was speaking to Jackie earlier, we don't know exactly who is going to take that big win, but if you had to put your money on it, who would you choose? Through the regular season, I would say Envyus Academy, but of recent form, I'm talking about online. Obviously in Premier, Epsilon have done so well recently, and obviously in the past weeks too. I think this will be the final, the game coming out now, Epsilon versus Envyus Academy, but I actually think Epsilon will take the whole tournament. There we go. You heard it there first. Back to you, Tom.
It is the Gfinity Elite Series Week 7, and it's the last of the qualifiers. As you can tell, my voice is almost about to go with the screaming and the excitement that we've just witnessed with Team Envyus taking on Epsilon. It finished an Envyus win on the first map, which was Inferno. We now move to the map Train, with a lot riding on this one. Obviously, we know that Envyus have finished top in the seedings. They are confirmed to play Prophecy, and Epsilon are confirmed to play the UK team that managed to squeeze on into those playoffs today, Excel. Let's talk about Envyus's play there. They were very dominant, and in the rounds that sort of counted, they forced their dominance, didn't they? Yeah, they basically just controlled the entire game. The tempo, the momentum, everything was in their favour, and they just took it from there and essentially just stomped them, to be honest. Yeah, there was a moment in round 17, and I want you to explain this, Csgo, that forcing that eco buy upon the team and forcing that, what does that actually mean? Yeah, so they just lost the pistol round, so it means they have the option of either ecoing up, so which means you don't buy anything, you just stay Glocks, your default pistol, or you buy armour and then essentially a better pistol. So in this situation, they bought a better pistol and ended up getting a few entry frags across the board, which traditionally you don't see that because obviously the CT side has better economy, which means better weapons. However, in this case, it went down to a 3v2 and Envy essentially ecoed them completely. which is hard to do, as we know. But what was the setup here? So what's going through Haji's? Yeah, so he's got a decent post-plant position considering his teammate's setup, and obviously he gets the back of one of the opponents due to them knowing they're both coming from Banana. Yeah, and obviously in other rounds that we saw, that round 8, what was going on there from Epsilon? It gives them hope going into map 2, doesn't it? Yeah, this round I wanted to highlight because this was a really smart play. So obviously they pick off Lambert towards CT spawn,
where on the mini-map right now you can see they were planning to go towards B. However, they realised we can just hold in here and get the rotates on the way back. So Barber picks up another frag on Haji in the library. This means that they decide, okay, that means there's only one player left on A bomber site. Let's go towards there instead, but hold the exit so they can't rotate, which means they can single out the one guy that's on the other bomber site. However, Cosmine decides to just kill them both with ease, doesn't have any issue, which means you see on the bomber on the mini-up, does a complete U-turn and then runs to B.
Yeah.
So it's perfect, like holding the rotation make it very easy to win the round, force them to make the error, and you just sit back and let them do it.
I mean, it's fantastic, Harold, that Cosmine's turning up like this. It takes a lot of pressure off the likes of Smuya and Freddie B and Barber, getting those frags when everyone's stepping up and doing what they're expected to do. This should give them hope going into map 2. But as you said earlier on, you don't think that Epsilon are playing their full game, which is not to take anything away from Envyus, but...
No, of course. No, I mean, my point mostly in that is perhaps Epsilon don't want to give anything away for the final, of course. You know, you see major teams don't want to give away their major land strats. Well, maybe that is exactly what Epsilon are doing. They don't want to give away their major land strats too early in the Gfinity Elite Series to Epsilon. Sorry, to Envyus. Envyus, of course, they looked pretty comfortable in that game. There was that, you know, a couple of rounds where Epsilon came in dominant and just trying things. Maybe this is the master plan, the master strat, the solution to all their problems, and we're going to see in 2 weeks' time an incredible performance coming out of the mixed team.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, obviously that could be one strat that they're going to use. But Epsilon taking on Excel, they've obviously played before, and they had that 2-0 victory against them. So they should be feeling very confident that that they should get through to the finals, even though they're losing currently. You know, would they be sort of not thinking about map 2 too much? It doesn't really matter. They know they finished second now. They didn't win that map, so focus on Excel.
It's a mixture, obviously. You want to be thinking about the game anyway, just to, because everybody likes winning. You want to make sure you do win. But obviously, in the back of your head, thinking, there's no need to get stressed about this. Yeah. It doesn't matter. We can kind of focus on next week. But you know, it's what you're playing right now, so you may as well just be focused on that for now. But it doesn't matter if you win or lose. Yeah. Technically. And
we saw a little bit of dip in form of Envyus, but they definitely had no dip in form there, did they? And is that's how good we expect Envyus to be. But when they played Endpoint, they took the foot off the gas and let Endpoint win that second map.
Perhaps that was just a bit of a wake-up call for them. They had noticed that they had slowly started drifting off, and they finally actually lost the map. They lost to Endpoint, and they thought, okay, guys, we really need to pick it up now. We need to come back into the series and wake up a little bit. And that's exactly what they've done today. They've shown Epsilon, you're not going to be a threat to us. Whether or not that's 100% intentional, we don't know just yet. Epsilon may not have been playing their full game. We will find out, and if you guys at home want to find out, you're going to have to stay tuned all through this and next week and the week afterwards, because otherwise you won't know, and knowledge is power.
Yeah. Well, I've got to ask, Csgo, this next map we move into, Train, it's a strategic map. You have to have a good strat and an idea of what you're going to do CT side and T side. But, you know, what will Epsilon try and do here? What will Envyus try and do to close this one out?
So, based on what we've just seen on Inferno, Epsilon didn't do anything very special in their actual gameplay. They were quite basic, which I want to add on to Harold's point about them not showing their real game. So it's entirely possible that the Inferno pick was just to find out what do Envy actually do on this map. Does our regular stuff work against them? And obviously they'll see, okay, that stuff wasn't working, so we can change that if we want to pick Inferno in the future against them.
Yeah, it's basically a scouting mission.
I feel like it was more of a scouting mission, like based on how it looked. You know. So it's entirely possible they'll do the same thing with Train, which play a very default thing, like maybe just do one set execute, like on each bomb site, find out how Envy reacts to it, and then use that for scouting purposes for the future games.
Okay, Harold, looking at this map, if you were a betting man, who would you put your money on at the moment then for this map too on Train?
Considering the previous performance, I would have to say Envyus.
A clean sweep then. And what about yourself, Csgo?
Considering the recent game, obviously I would say Envy, but I'm going to stick with Epsilon.
Okay, and why is that? Just because of Smear and the Orchid?
A lot of faith.
Okay, fair enough. So this is going to be, do you reckon it's going to be a closer affair, this one? Could it go to overtime? Will we see all of those potential strats coming out?
I feel like if it does go towards Epsilon, it'll be like a 16-10, but I don't see any overtimes coming. I feel like it'll be a fairly convincing by scoreline result.
Okay. And I mean, if you were to pick a star player for Epsilon to come out at the moment, just for everybody at home while they're watching.
Just so we can get the name drop, Smooya.
Smooya, okay, there we go. Name drop is done. Two guys who have name dropped throughout and who are absolute name droppers themselves in the fact that people name drop you, Henry G and Pansy. Lovely work in the first. Well, I'm saying that,
it wasn't your best.
Yeah, well,
like
it's a good match there from Envyus. It
Yeah.
showed their caliber that they have. Are you expecting the same in this map, like the experts, SEO and Harold?
I think just from what we saw of the first and how they approached it, the sort of depth we saw on that T
Sure.
side, some of those hits towards A were gorgeous. They were really well made. If they can apply some of that to train, I've got to give it to Envy. I'd like to see more from Epsilon. I think it was a good point on the desk. That certainly wasn't their A game.
No, definitely not. That was a team I haven't seen at all. That kind of play, especially on the T side as well, they looked disjointed. They were being very apprehensive with their plays towards the A bomb side especially, and it seemed like the roles weren't clearly defined. We had that double orb set up on the T side of Inferno. That's never been seen before. That's never been experimented with ever at this sort of level. It's strange to see it, and I feel like something was going on in the camp. There may be some arguments stirring as to who should be AWPing that particular time, but who knows? We'll get into train. It's definitely an AWP-centric map, so if we do get a CT star here for Epsilon, I feel like they have a better chance of stepping up here and showing us what they're made of. If they get the T-side start again, they're not known to be the most tactical team. I think they'll struggle here, but we'll find out, Lauren, and we'll see whether they can potentially give us a better game than what we saw in Inferno.
Yeah, we need a better game from them. This game has everything you'd want. Great storyline, a lot on the line here. But Epsilon haven't just stepped up. They've been quiet. And Envy, we know what's on the line for them. We've heard, you know, whispers. There's a lot of the Envy guys in the crowd here watching this, and not just, you know, fans. I mean, management's here. They're keeping eyes on these guys. You've got the main coach, Malik, coming in as well. These guys are giving a lot of support here to try and succeed, and they are rising to the occasion. They're delivering on what I want to see.
Yeah.
But the other thing I want to see them apply what they did. You know, that lovely A hit. I love seeing stuff like that. That was almost the SK hit with the same smokes coming through, beautifully done. If they can find a touch of that on train,
you're in luck. This is one of the most tactical sort of maps of set pieces. There's a million different options and different executions you can do. The fakes as well on train. Probably the most appetizing map to actually bring fakes to. So it's going to be quite exciting to see whatever Envyus want to dump all their tactics here and show us what they've got. I don't think we'll be seeing that level of commitment from Epsilon. They'll be relying very fast on the fast gameplay and the orbs, and we'll definitely see double orb setups on the T side here. That's a lot more viable than it is on Inferno. That's not a problem. I'm sure we'll see that from them. They will be starting the T side. I'm not a huge fan of that for Epsilon, just because I want to see a deep game here. I want to see them actually get Envyus on the ropes, but for now, we'll see whether they can win the pistol round. We'll have a look at the buy for both teams. It will be Envyus, of course. CD Star, 4 sets of armor. VKL with the defuse kit and a smoke grenade as well. On the other side of the server, Epsilon, 4 sets of armor for them. 1 smoke, 2 flashbangs, no Molotovs. A lot of teams do favor towards that inside bomb side of the pistol, mainly because you're guaranteed a bomb plant, more or less. You can get a trade going in there and you can get the plant down, but doesn't look like that'll be the case just yet. We've got a default round here from the international side of Epsilon. Towards inside they go with 2 players. Bomb is there, but you can see presence towards main entrance and Ivy as well.
And I do wonder if we retain the combos that we've seen. You know, Jax, VKL kind of on one side, playing with each other. I was so impressed with VKL's play on that B side, CT side, Inferno. Beautiful.
Yeah, he seems to be the anchor for this team primarily. That's what we'll be doing here on the inside bomb side as well.
Hope we get to see him in full action as Lambert already going to get the first bit of contact here from 2 players. Barbar and Freddie B, the Swedish duo, deliver. It's Barbar to find his head and just puts him down to rest. Now, first kill comes in. Train is very hard to put yourself in the right place at the right time on the CT side. Quite long rotates, quite tricky, a lot of lines to work down, but those USPs can be so deadly. Smoke goes in towards B. That looks like a lot of a commitment, considering they only have 1 smoke and 2 flashes. And the bomb's going down here. There's no one else here. Maeve is showing a lot of leg and backing away. That got a bit scary.
Yeah, I don't think he was thinking there for a little second, but he did fall back. He didn't give the bomb away, so that's absolutely fine. It will be Epsilon, though, heading towards outside, but the frag's having to come in now. Surely Jax gets punished here, but his team's finding frags, but the bomb has been planted now. Low HP for the CTs as the retake begins.
The T's have almost got a good line throughout this map. They should be able to land these shots. Smooya's doing that. There's Freddie B as well. That's a play you want to be looking at, is Freddie B. Smooya, land the shot, my friend. Hadji does go down in the end, but yeah, Freddie B, another name. You want to see him feeling confident, feeling good, building up individually.
Yep.
Because they don't have the depth, it seems, that Envy have. They maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they'll bring it out down the line. But you want individuals, you want fire, and that's a good way to get it started.
Well, I did see a tweet from Smooya saying that that's what he expected in Inferno, and he feels like the real Epsilon can turn up on train. He did tweet that.
Is he
Maybe
becoming a PR master?
Yeah, he might be. We'll see whether he can live up to expectations. That's what he tweeted just before the game started. So I'm interested to see whether that delivers. So far, so good. They win the pistol, but they lost this second round forced by an Inferno. Could happen again. Envyus with P250s, 5.7s, Deagle CZs, pretty much every upgradable pistol available, and a smoke grenade to work with as well.
A lot of rifles on the Epsilon side, something that I know you quite like going to. It's a little safer, but a little less utility, I guess. Not as many mollies, flashes to clear those corners. Still a few to work with, though.
Sure, it's like 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. You either have more firepower and less utility. Both have their kind of positive aspects and negative ones. I prefer it on train. It's a very long-range map. Stay together and manage to blow off the heads of the CTs. You should be absolutely fine. But we'll see. Freddy B will be coming out first at the Ivy position. There are actually 3 players there. No bomb, though. Trying to find a frag. Freddy, I would say he gets his kill all day long, but can't quite get it just yet.
Spots out 2. Careful with Barbar, though. He can't overstep. That's the one threat that could come in. If he gets caught and the bomb gets dropped, things can spiral. Good intuition from Freddy to start considering maybe the back line's being pressured. Cosme now gets into it, but this feels a little awkward. They're kind of stuck here for a little bit too long. They need to just kind of play together, push through as a team. VKL doing brilliant damage, falling back to a new angle, but Smooya outdoes him. There's the firepower that you want to be seeing, but a little bit awkward still here. Hanschi could be in a dangerous spot, but Jax is in a better one. Catching Smooya in the heels, baits out the ladder noise, goes back for the rifle, and there's pretty... Oh no!
Oh.
What a disaster already! A 2v2, HP's low, and the bomb's not planted. 20 seconds remain. They're kind of pinched in on the other side, and there it is, the strike from the CZ. Barbar has got to be gutted about this one. Might have to wait bye-bye to those first 3 rounds you'd have wanted on the board.
This is an absolute disaster for Epsilon. There's just no time left, Lauren. The bomb hasn't been picked up yet. He's going to have to force the plant down here. Round over, and it's Envyus fighting back in the second round. It happened on Inferno, and it's happening again here on Train. Just when it seemed like they had the advantage as well. Smooya, a young player, very talented, but caught out of position there, gives his gun away for free, essentially, and at that point, the round just falls apart, crumbles around them, and it's going to be Envyus fighting back, and I'm sure we'll see a similar response here from Epsilon. They're going to try and force their way back in, spend everything they've got in round number 3 here. You can see the Deagles coming out, the Tech 9s, a few smokes to work with as well, and of course the body armor as well. This could be another disastrous half for Epsilon. I think they needed that 3-0 on. I think they had to have it just to get their confidence back and allow their bigger players to step up here. But still, a chance to win this round. Damage inflicted, but no kills coming in just yet. It's going to be Haji to strike first.
So much utility too. Jax, if he can just stay alive for a couple of seconds here, he's getting a little bit of damage done to him. Freddy B's going to find the head of Haji, but Jax swings out wide, and that's a great shot towards Maeve, and VKL is there in time. 3 alive. No harm, no foul. Good work from Envy. Nice approach, and I think you said it right. For the Epsilon side, a lot of those first 3 was mentality. The rounds, okay, they could have probably worked back later on down the line, you know, in the gun rounds. Mentality seems to be a big factor here. A couple of issues here and there.
Definitely.
This could be a problem.
It's the most frustrating round in Counter-Strike to lose. Up against the pistols, when you're looking at the 3-0, you're already down a map as well. You need something to go in your favor. You've done the hard work. You've got that pistol round. That should be 3-0, but obviously never normally the case. And here we go, though. Smooya. He buys the Desert Eagle into round number 4 here. Gets the first headshot, of course, down to 40 points of health, but still, he took down Jax in the process, so that's absolutely fine. Nades raining in. They're just cowering in the corner now, trying to stay alive here. So far, so good. The boost working out. Smooya hoping that a CT pushes into his crosshair, but I don't think that'll be happening anytime soon.
No, it's only really him and Barbar who could do much damage. The upgraded P250. Everyone else is on Glocks. That's the only problem here.
Yeah.
They've spotted 2. If anything, that actually might cause a bit of a rotate or pull people back into place. There's certainly viability to be maybe getting a cheeky plant. It's so unlikely, though. Again, Hanschi gonna have a lot to handle, but he should be able to succeed with at least 2, maybe, I'd say. Should be fine if he doesn't overextend. He's hearing a couple of steps here and there. Maybe Barbar going walkabouts, maybe down towards Ivy. Potential there to break through, but Lambert's watching it with a full-on rifle, so this becomes a little bit more tricky. But I like this from Epsilon. This is kind of, you know, trying out their options. They're not just going, screw it, we can't do much here. Let's actually play this one out.
You might as well give it a good go. You've got this advantage as well. Try and find another weakness on the CD side. They've got to react at some point as well. Wait for that mistake to be made, but Lambert does damage, can't find the kill, but Haji certainly can, but still the advantage lies with Epsilon. They're coming out towards the IB as well, and Lambert just can't get these shots going. And we're going towards backtracks here with the bomb as well. Lambert, surely he gets his frag as well. It's looking very uncomfortable for Envyus, but finally, a couple of kills come in their favor. That should be the round secured at this point, but still, it is starting to fall apart. 15 seconds now, and finally, the round of victory comes in for Envyus there. It definitely got a bit uncomfortable, I have to say.
Yeah, the 3 kills, not bad at all. The first one was, you know, one of those shots that you don't feel you could do every single round, but it hits for Smooya, no problem. the next two, quite impressive. They were able to grind those out. I like the approach, good mentality. But Envy, again, keep control. Up early on the AWP, 6k sat on Lambert still, so that's a nice little nest egg he can build throughout this game if all goes well this round. Epsilon on the other side, scraping it together for this bite. Decent amounts purchased into, of course. Fair amount of utility beside them. What's the approach here? It looks quite fast towards B.
We'll see. They will get the upper B hall's control, at least for now. That doesn't necessarily suggest that's final commitment, but look at Jax holding the heels of Barbar here, trying to find the first kill. Barbar knows this is a possibility as well.
They're out
Jax,
B.
yeah, well, they won't get any further here for now. This is a really interesting round, a crazy one, I have to say.
What on earth is this? How is Cosmin out here? And Smooya, I don't understand. This is very obscure.
The bomb's down. Look at the bombers in T-spawn.
Oh no!
What is going on?
Barbar was watching after that. Maybe they didn't expect to have this success, and now, well, they don't know how to handle it. Lambert pulls himself back in. They're going to dig down here. They're going to turtle down and try and defend this at all costs. If they can stop those T-size players working their way back in towards that bomb, then it could be trouble. But oh, Maeve's going to just steal it from right under him.
Did he get it?
He's got away. How on earth did he do that?
What? I can't really analyze this round for you, Lauren. This is absolute bizarre.
What's happened?
They walked in towards the B side, forgot the bomb, of course, left out there. But Barbar was watching, he got taken down, and then it's all gone a little bit chaotic here. But it looks like Epsilon should be winning the round. Sure, Hadji gets one kill, but I think that's all he'll get here. So definitely some chaos ensuing, but still, I'm enjoying it. It's entertaining CS. And Epsilon will be able to post another round and add onto their total. It'll be 3-2 overall. Hadji just trying to inflict any damage he can to the economy of Epsilon here. Any kill he gets will be valuable. We know that Lambert's got 6k in the reserve, but the rest of his teammates not doing too good. Now 2-on-1, the bomb will certainly be going off here. It's a chance for anything to be salvaged for Envyus. So they find the AWP, and that's definitely promising. With the 6k we have on Lambert as well, we might be able to squeeze out a buy just about.
I don't think she'll be able to keep this.
No. Well, that's it.
That's probably going to be all she wrote, but weird round. As said, two players making it through on upper, completely unscathed, unspotted, punish, and then you see the pinch and the bomb's lost. It's very, very weird. You shouldn't be able to see that again.
Yeah, that's a complete anomaly.
Look at the money on both sides as well. It's so strange.
Yeah, well, it looks like Envyus worth it. They settled it up. I think they can probably just about buy here, but unfortunately that did go down. Lambert, like you said, residual counter for him. He gets the CZ out, some body armor as well. His teammates can't really have the same sort of luxury here. They're on full ecos, and it will be Cosmin towards inside. Molotov, we discussed that earlier today. That's designed to push back any sort of presence from the CT side at the very start. They can't lock themselves in with one player that's at that point of the map and having just access to the B-bomb side fully with information granted at the start.
No Charlie Pickles play.
No.
Not allowing that to happen.
Not right now.
Good ground game from Cosmin. A little on his own, a little isolated. But other than that, he's doing what he needs. Denying information, not allowing them to push up. Epsilon going to have to brave the storm eventually. There is Hadji on top of the train. Smooya going to be able to jump spot it, but he can't land the shot while doing so. He has to try and bait him into a more vulnerable position. There's Freddy B coming in. This is the change, though. Pretty Scale does push up at the right time. This becomes a little bit problematic. Maeve could be on the chopping block. Ooh, Hadji still has the angle, but Barbar from that Olaf spot does fight his way out. They have recovered the rifle, but I don't know how much use they can fight from this. And Jax goes down to Smooya. It looks like they're clearing out the site far better now. Smooya padding out the stats. They keep the gun away, and nothing saved over.
There it is. Epsilon now coming to life here on train. As we said, they tweeted out there and they didn't give their best performance in Inferno. They wanted to rectify their previous mistakes here and show us what they're made of on train. And so far, so good. They've tied things up at 3-3. But they did win the pistol, remember, as well. And they had that shocker of around number 2. But they've kind of neutralized everything now. It's going to be another eco from Envyus here. Partial buy, if you will. Some upgraded pistols here, and they've got the 3 HE grenades. Look out towards main entrance. That's where most teams will use them. And we'll see where that rings true right now. Barbar could find himself in a lot of trouble. Nades come in, but they don't hit him too hardly there. It's going to be Lamberts with a CZ. Okay. To do what he could there, but Freddy B taking him down. Same story for Barbar as he gets the double kill towards main entrance.
Nicely done. Pretty Scout again pushing up towards B. Maeve watching this timing could be a factor on it. Did give a chance for maybe another shot to come through, but unable to land. You're kind of praying at that point. Lovely stuff from VKL. Beautiful work with the Deagle. It's a gun to hand. Not sure if he's going to be able to keep hold of it, but going to give it a darn good go. Going to be chased down very early here by Freddy, but the bomb's going to be planted. They're relatively safe at this point. VKL just desperately wants that rifle.
He does, doesn't he? He wants to hold on to that. It's a nice rifle to have as well. So AK-47, he's showing us what you can do with that weapon? Headshots all over the place. He takes down Freddie B as well. It's going to be the 2 versus 1. He cannot win the round, but still, he's putting on quite the show for us with his aim and individual skill. 3 kills in total, and I think that's going to send a message out for Epsilon. Maybe you should just let me keep this weapon. I don't want to have to kill all of you. It's going to hurt you a lot more than it's going to hurt me. So he'll be hiding towards the dumpster for now. It doesn't look like they're going to be hunting him down. Nice display there from VKL.
That was pretty nice.
That was good, wasn't it?
No armor. Has to land them that cleanly. If 1 bullet lands, maybe 2, you know that knockback's just going to absolutely destroy you. So really crisp.
Oh, they got him.
Oh, no.
Oh, wow.
You hate to see it.
So just for anyone's unaware, that kind of spot, the dumpster spot, like throughout all iterations of Counter-Strike in the last 15 years, that's always been the spot you go to when you're trying to save a weapon. That's what everyone goes to. Like, it's considered safe, so you always get a pre-fire that, so he runs on the corner maybe and does find him. Oh, it's a little bit disappointing in that respect, but still, he gave us a good show. And there's still plenty of money here. It's not really the end of the world for Envyus. It's nice to have the AK-47s on the CT side, but still, 4-3 for Epsilon. We go into a real gun round here. The AWP's out for Smooya, and he's going aggressive, of course. And what a shot that was. Finds Petty's skull, and he has full control of the B bomb side as well. That's aggressive play we love to see. Maeve chimes in, and that should be round done.
Sometimes you have to let an animal off the leash, and that is exactly what just happened.
Yeah.
Smooya just threw mollies through, and it doesn't matter. He's going in for it, and he's so adamant he wants that kill. You could see he's not going to stop till he gets it. And that B-side's all his. They don't expect that sort of thing. You don't expect an AWP to come flying out of ramp and do that to you. So again, you can't hold it against Envy for this.
I might be pouring on a bit thick right now, but that's how players like JW became so prolific with that sort of play. He's throwing the rulebook at Counter-Strike out the window, and you don't expect it to happen. You drop a Molotov there, you think, right, I've bought myself 7 seconds, no one's going to be coming through that area. But if someone does, and it's with an AWP of all weapons as well, you just don't see that coming. And if you're aggressive enough and you're confident enough in your own ability to make that work, it looks amazing. If he runs down there and misses the shot, it looks so dumb. It looks so stupid, right? It just doesn't look like, what is he doing? But if he pulls off the shot, it's legendary. And that's what I love about those kind of plays and the confidence he has of his own ability. It's the final shot from Smooya as well. What a round.
Can we get that from his perspective? If we can get that last kill, I want to see how he landed. Actually, it looked like he just dropped at the end. I'd be curious. Just does seem as though you can hear the French side.
Yeah, we can't get as much insight for that one.
No, of course. A little bit of a shame you can't hear it as much of a... Oh, team knife?
How is
Smooya just do that?
Oh, he actually did the right-click backstab into...
Smooya, why are you like this? You got to make up for it now. Did all right before. Made it look a little fancy. But now you've made it actually a little uncomfortable because even though, of course, Envy are very low on this round, they don't have the firepower, it does make those deagles, those pistols, a little bit more viable.
We'll see. It's a difficult round for Envyus, but the damage done, maybe they can find something with this one. It's pretty beat down at 39 points of health. A little bit rare to see that. Stabbing your own team is not recommended here in the Elite Series.
No. Just kind of losing his head a little bit. I guess easy to lose focus sometimes. You have a big round like that, you're not really switched on. You're thinking it's a pug again, no team damage. You're just flying around having a nice little time.
That's true. That's such a good point.
But still, all that aside, this is where we'll see the damage come through, if there is to be seen. You can hear the deagles being landed through. Lovely little touchdown from Cosme. No problem. Bar strikes. And it's clean. VKL, though, we saw that deagle. We saw what it could do. Petty scale, that 5-7. A little different these days. You can't dance like you used to, but you can certainly still land shots accurately close by. VKL towards Freddie B. And it was actually Barbar.
Ooh!
Oh, my... Okay, that was Barbar who got the knife. Excuse me. I'm not going to blame you, Smooya. That's my bad. But now this becomes a problem. We've got Petty Skill and VKL both in a very good spot here. Maybe a little strange. They're both at the old bomb train, but making this round. Oh, my word. The 5-7. Thank you, Valve, for doing this. 1v1. Smooya's wondering where the hell his teammates went. He's got 14 seconds, Henry. This could be done.
Yep, he has to act very quickly here as well. AWP not known for his presence in close-range situations. It's going to be Petty Skull. Surely wins this one. Guaranteed. Somehow he doesn't find the kill. Got to spam it. Deny the pod. It's all going wrong, but he finally gets it there. Oh, very touch and go on either side of the server there, but still, Epsilon with a bit of a blunder. Smooya can't do anything with that situation, as you pointed out. About 10 seconds remaining, and it seemed like it was going to be a difficult round from the get-go. Stabbing your teammates one might not seem like a big deal. They're good enough to 39 points of health. That means just one deagle shot anywhere on the body will take him down, and that's exactly what happened. So Barbar was the player that betrayed his teammate Freddie B.
Yeah, exactly. I've got to say sorry to Smooya.
I just wanted to reiterate
that. Yeah. You know, he was looking like he was after him. No. Oh, Barbar.
Sure.
Smooya, though, again, looks like he wants to make the play happen. You can see him. He wants this himself. Nothing there, though. An early smoke towards Pop to deny any sort of quick piece to come through. And it does force Envy to use their utility early as well. Ooh, a little bit of damage coming in here. Cosmin, are they going for the double upper play again? Two players just walking out towards that upper area. And this time, Pettiscale's having none of it. VKL's aware. You do it once, fair enough. Twice, not going to happen. Smooya thinking twice about this now as well.
Yeah, you can see the flaws in Epsilon's game. I wasn't expecting a tactical masterclass, but still, this is too loose for my liking. The fact that they're just rushing out up a platform, players dying low, running through flames as well. It doesn't seem to be any coordination there. There's no real utility deployed to actually buy them some map control. It just seems like they're relying heavily on the aim of the individual. Sure, they've got bucket loads of that, but at the same time, you do need a few tactics to take down the defense of a team like Envyus, who are very drilled and know exactly what they have to do to win rounds here. And it will be almost a clean sweep here. 50 seconds remaining. It's up to Smooya and Freddy B to try and find any sort of opening they can. Sure, the round's not definitely over, but very little chance Epsilon even get the bomb down here.
There it is. That's surely the nail in the coffin. Lambert, find Freddy B. Smooya. That's not going to happen. Nice work from Lambert. And that's a player I want to see starting to shine again. Very, very nice play from him on Inferno. Lambert, that is. Nice AWPing. Love the aggression down middle on the CT side. Love the versatility we saw. Not seen so much of it here. A little bit quieter on that. Been a little outdone. Been a little bit pressured. Haven't quite had the money either. It's been,
sure.
In the back of our thoughts here. But 5-5, money's finally broken for Epsilon.
Yeah, it's looking promising now for the Envyus side. We'll see what they can do here. That was a really weird round from Epsilon. You can see, like, we cast a train earlier, right? And you can see, like, the tactics being deployed and the different sort of approaches you can have. So far, there's been defaults and fast rushes from Epsilon, which can be fine, but if it's not working, you need something to fall back onto. That's what we comment on a lot of the teams. Like, we mentioned Fnatic earlier as well. They were very good at working the fundamentals of the round, but still, they lack tactics, and that's something they had to work on eventually. Cool. And we're seeing a little bit of that right now. But still, Envyus with the clean sweep, more or less. I talked about that round because they are just on pistols here. Yep. Not really much you can do with that. The bomb will not be planted. And we've Freddy B with Glock, no armor, just to hold up here and try and do anything he can. He might frustrate us all and just be walking around with the Glock. No real reason to do so. Yeah,
10 seconds.
There's no chance he really gets a kill here with the bomb down, but maybe it's a chance for them to use this like a timeout or just kind of calm things down and work out what the approach will be in the next round, calculate their money. It's desperate trying to get the bomb down here, but you've got to give it a go. Got to be in it to win it, I believe they say.
Henry, I hear you say that all the time.
Yeah. Well,
you love those sort of sports quotes. See you on Twitter, retweeting them. Ooh.
I love it.
Can't get enough. But you can see Pettiscale already considering that upper push. It's going to be a bit of timing, but it does seem as though he's aware. And a nice attempt for a bomb plant, but not to be seen. Locked out, locked down by Envy, and they are finally back in this game. It felt a little rocky for a while. It felt like there was a couple of answers coming through for Epsilon, but there's the quell, there's the culling, and there's the stop to it all.
Well, I heard the words flash B there. That's a good strategy. I like to use that one at home as well.
Your French is excellent.
Yeah, it's working out for me now. Like, it's been about 15 years since the old GCSEs, but still, it's all coming back to me now.
Flooding back.
Well, here we go. Round number 12. And it's going to be a fast play. This has been the go-to strategy here. Smooya will spawn you got. Try and run out and get the pick. It's definitely out there. It's a bit audacious, but I've been enjoying it, I have to say. When it works, it looks spectacular. If he gets shut off by the flashbangs, he kind of gets stifled almost. And with the CTs want to try and find his first frag. It's Barbar to go down first. 5-on-4 once again.
The pressure is unbelievable they're mounting, and that's going to be annoying for Smooya. He's going to be pretty angry about that, I can imagine. But nice response from the rest of the Epsilon guys. Maeve and Cosmin making it count, but the bomb... Again, this is devastating. This stops the viability of these rounds. That aggression, the kind of smothering nature coming out from Envyus is very hard to handle.
So they get one kill and they have complete control of the B-bomb side, but CT's like, you know what, you can have the B-bomb side. Without any bomb, that's pretty useless, I'm afraid. And it's Freddy B that goes down to the hands of Lambert as well. And we still have a minute remaining here. This round isn't necessarily over, but it'd be a blunder now from Envyus to even allow Cosmin near this bomb. They've got two CTs watching it. Presumably one of them is with the AWP. It is indeed. That's Lambert outside main entrance, and then we've got Hadji inside, up close and personal, trying to find the next frag. Epsilon, they've made a few mistakes in this series so far. Inferno, there are plenty of them. They've left the bomb already on this map and T-spawn before, and here we go, a frag. Okay, maybe not. VKL shuts him down.
I love how excited you sound about that one, Henry. A frag?
Yeah.
But no, the denial. Good. Yeah, you saw the barrel. You kind of think would work his way, but I do like the way that Malik is really vocal about this.
Yeah.
You know, considering I think he's a stand-in coach almost. He's kind of stepped into this. He wasn't their main coach. He's the coach for the main team. the main Envy side, the higher tier team. You can see that he's bringing a lot of experience here, and it'd be nice to have a little bit of a backbone there to keep them kind of just working through the motions.
They seem very composed generally. Yeah. They're not the kind of team that's screaming, but they know what they have to get done. They're not looking devastated when they lose rounds as well. They look quite composed throughout. They're not making wild decisions. And Epsilon, like we said, they're focusing really on, okay, so what kind of spawn you get that AWP out and try and get a kill. And that looks really good for one round, right? Yep. They have on the pistol as well. The tactics just haven't been there. But as I say that, Lauren, we do have a set piece coming out. Oof. They're setting out 3 smokes here. The first time we've really seen a set piece from Epsilon generally on train. Smokes go out. The objective here, try and get the bomb down. It's not even necessarily a full commitment in terms of the buy. They've got pistols, 3 sets of armor. The smokes are deployed. They're looking decent. If they can get the bomb down here, it's a pretty decent round. But we'll see what happens as Jax.
It's a fake.
It is, you're right. Towards inside we go.
Oh, Petty Scale isn't being moved. Mollying towards upper. As soon as that hits, the lower ramp side is going to push. They're going to flex into this one. The late lurk comes out from Smoothie, but he's only, well, at 20 HP. What's he going to achieve from this? The bomb goes down. Yet to be planted, though. Freddy B on the side with the CZ. Can't make a count, and Envy will not be moved. They understand the plan. They're not overreacting, not over-responding, and they hold their ground.
So it was indeed the fake, the first real strategy, if you will, the set piece, I guess we call it instead of a strategy, from Epsilon. And it's 3 smokes towards outside, trying to force a rotation and hopefully have 1 player towards inside. It's exactly what they got, but unfortunately, when they got to the inside side, didn't account for the player close range near the lower ramp down top of the train, and he took the plant down and denied it being picked up once again. It's round number 14, back on the AWP and Smoothie. Without head armor, though, that's a bit of a problem. 1 bullet from the M4 will take him down, but he goes towards Ivy this time. Not as hyper-aggressive as what we saw before. That is from Lambert. Like we discussed that position before. If you can push back that CT in that position, means they can't have full reign of that side of the map.
Going for a bit of a spam down towards Ivy. Boost comes over, nade comes through. You can see the back and forth pieces of the puzzle. As soon as you hear the jump, as soon as you see the smoke go down, you can see the responses, even without having the full information, the full vision. Of course, X-ray only available to us, so we see the outlines through the walls. The players obviously cannot see this. So just that game sense really kicking in. Molly comes in as well. That's going to force VKL back. Let's see how they respond to this. 3 players on Ivy waiting to go now, raring to get going. Molotovs go in, clearing out those corners, but you can see they push the extremities. They already have players sitting at the back by Ivy. They've got players pushed up by Olaf's spot, and Smoothie gets decapitated. VKL Lambert, it's a shutdown, it's a whitewash, and Lambert again delivers crisp, clean shots, and the locks aren't happening for Barbar. There it is again. Envy going from strength to strength here.
Very similar scenes to what we saw on the first map there, Lauren. It's looking like to be a 10-5 scoreline, and Epsilon, I have to say, just don't seem fired up right now. It's not the team I kind of described in the pre-game, saying they've got a huge skill ceiling, they can turn up here. We've got 3 amazing players on this team. Freddy B, Barbar, Smoothie. They should be devouring some of the likes of the NBA squad, but for now, they're looking quiet. Barbar once again have a shocking game from him. 6 frags. He needs to be one of the talisman for Epsilon generally, but it's just not happening. It seems like they're lacking something here today. There's something I can't really put my finger on, but for now, number 15 has to force buy into it. 3 AKs, a Galil there, and a UMP for Maeve. What's the play? Well, in terms of utility, you got a Molotov and some flashbangs, that's it. How do you enter a bomb zone and train with nothing at all? Barbar, he seems to have the solution. He has got some map control here, but has to drop off. The flashbang knocks him back. Oh, the auto sniper, didn't even notice that. It's Hadji, okay. I like that. Sends out a message to his opposition at least.
Yeah, you don't want to go near those sort of things. The spam's so good, especially at this sort of range. It actually does become incredibly viable. It's not just one of those kind of quirky guns that you buy just to be a nuisance. It has a bit of a place here, but Petty Skelly's going to be probably the next person to make contact. Smoothie, not expecting it. They've been doing that so often as well. They've played that upper catwalk card. It's not going to work out again. And well, Epsilon, it's a very flat performance.
Yeah. I'm not getting too excited about the prospect of Epsilon bouncing back and finding the second map here in this series. If you are just joining us, it was 16-6 on Inferno in favor of Envyus, looking very formidable, a tight unit. This absolutely, like, this working well, like a squad should be generally. But Epsilon being a lot more wild. They've been running around the rounds, they win it down to huge individual performances. We saw a bit of that here in the first half, but once again, it's the Envyus side that have looked like the better team. I think that's the operative word. They look like a team. Epsilon, not so much right now.
Yeah, Epsilon, I'm a little let down by it, honestly. I thought this matchup could have been a real go-getter between these two. I think you had a nice clash of styles, but we're just not seeing the best from Epsilon here at all. And we've seen them play very well, even in the games they've lost before. You know, even in the ones that they didn't pick up, you've seen kind of a little bit more fire to them. Not really seeing it here. So for me, a little bit of a letdown. I became a bit of a. I really enjoyed their games. I really enjoyed watching them progress throughout this Epsilon. But today, Envy are playing a far greater game. They've come into this with that classic mentality, a far better approach, knowing what they want to do. They've clearly done their homework as well. You know that. That's probably going to be the heads of Epsilon boys as well. They know that they'd liked a good anti-strat. It might be frustrating them.
We'll see what happens in the second half. A must-win pistol, I would say, for Epsilon. From what I've seen so far, lose that, I think their heads, which seem to be already out of this one, it'll be even further removed. We'll see what happens. I'm still hoping that they can maybe make this an interesting final game of the day. You know, we want to see a nice 16-14, something like that. Who knows? But Envyus for now, 2 smokes, 3 flashbangs, a decoy in the mix as well. BKL and Petty Skell are going to be the utility players for this one. Smokes out there. There we go. The tire's going towards Connector, and we have got Terrorist towards Ivy as well. Bomb will be holding in T-spawn just for now while they work out where they can find their frags. Freddy beat down to 1 HP already, but it's Cosmin fighting back, doing a good job there, and it's going to be Smooya baited in. That's perfect, and now we do have the advantage here for the Epsilon side, but not for long. BKL shutting it down. Low HP players all over the place, and no bomb going down as of yet. We'll have a chance to catch our breath as it looks like we do have MBS heading towards inside an open bomb site, Lauren. What a blunder. But still, Epsilon do find the kill. BKL, low HP, goes down.
Well, this gets a little bit uncomfortable, doesn't it? Bomb plant Lambert, what can you do? Can you make up for the lack of numbers that you currently hold? A nice angle. Oh, look at the patience. It might be his virtue here as well. Oh, that's the shot. Heads will roll, and it's all Epsilons. Freddy P, 9 HP. Dire times. And there it is. Dire times with dire measures, and that's all he had left.
You hate to see that happen. It seems like Epsilon took the bait, hook, line, and sinker. Well, the beautiful thing about that was it's Envyus with a low HP player as well. It's VKL. He had 9 HP, and he had to do something with his teammates. He knows he can't find kills there, but if he can go towards outside and get deep enough into the bomb site just to show presence in that area, sure, when he goes down, he won't get anything in return, but he has bought his teammates some time. They get towards inside, and we pushed all the way down towards the connector, and you could see, I thought Epsilon were going to check that all day long. You've come in 10 seconds after the bomb's gone down. Presumably, you expect them to be pushed right down there. Didn't check it. Almost got the refrag there, but wasn't meant to be. And it's a big pistol there for the Envyus side. 11-5 now, but we do know how problematic the pistols can be in CSGO, especially in the Elite Series at these kind of lesser levels, not top tier CS. You can see these teams struggle against the likes of Desert Eagles, 5.7s, and we'll see what happens here, as we do have 4 of those available for Epsilon. Will be Cosmin down to 5.7 and smoke. No defuse gets available, of course. Maeve with no armor. In terms of the buy for Envyus, I'm not a fan of this at all, Lauren. 3 MAC-10s and an MP7, but Jax, he's got the AK, finds the first kill.
I would say that Envy have been one of the only teams that has controlled these rounds. The ones that have approached this correctly with utility, with what they do and how they work into it. This could all go wrong. This you know, the theory of what we've seen so far could all go very, very wrong, but generally they have a nicer approach. They keep the right mentality.
We know they're a team, so it's complete polar opposite to what we saw. Epsilon in the first half, they get the AKs out, they get a couple of SMGs and no utility. Envyus, they don't go for the firepower whatsoever. They want a full array of utility. They want the smokes, the molotovs, the flashbang. They want to find that first kill and then fully commit with the tactics as well. Look at all the utility raining in on top of Smooya now. How can he get anything going here? It's just burning alive. It forces him out of position, and you can see how effective the utility can be. Spot on stuff there from the Envyus side, and that's a really, really nice anti-eco.
That's lovely.
Yeah.
You saw how uncomfortable every single player was, whether or not they died to the Molotov or not. There was a player watching the angle they were forced to or falling back from. Nowhere you could hide. So very well done to Envy, and I like this sort of composure. You're up in a great situation. What, you're 11-5 at the time. You're still keeping that mentality of, all right, we're running through everything we got here. We want to get that first place. We want to prove that we are the best team here. There aren't challenges. We, by a long way as well, because Epsilon were on their heels for a while. So were Prophecy, but that was a statement piece. And that's why we might be seeing again Envy, a switch up, a little bit of a different look here, fast pace. They know that Epsilon will be suffering money-wise. You've got to be a little careful. Those USPs still do work for good deals of money, great deals of damage. Yeah. The MAC-10's going farming.
And you're absolutely fine. With a MAC-10 going down there, it's not the end of the world, right? You know rivals are coming out for their CDs next round, so chances throw them into the bomb. So there, they get a couple of kills and go down, that's fine. Ideally, don't actually want to take that MAC-10 into the next round. It's not the end of the world. Try and farm some cash a bit, try and pay off the debt for it, and then you go into the next round with an AK, and that's going to be EPK. Exactly what happens there. So quite a clean round. Just Cosmin now. Don't think he finds a frag here. Take an absolutely lovely shot there. Jax finds him. 13-5. Definitely still bonus round territory there. We call it a bonus round because technically you shouldn't really have like 3 SMGs going into that first gun round. It's not ideal, but you have a ton of money available. You know the CTs with the force buy. What are you all got here? What have you spotted? Go on.
The amount of SMGs against the double.
That's what I was about to go
armor.
into. So the reason this is so viable is because you know they forced one the second round. It's something we're seeing less and less up in CSGO generally at a very high level because you find yourself in this position where you have no head armor. You get a double AWP set about where they've got no armor whatsoever. They're so vulnerable to these SMGs right now. A set piece and get close range with the SMGs, that could be something marvelous, and that's exactly what's happening right now as we get closer to the bomb site.
This is perfect. They just got to land the shots. It's harder than it sounds, but they've done everything right. They've set the right outline to the way they have to color this in now. But look at that bomb. This is all but a ruse. They're just showing a lot of presence towards A. They're still hitting this site. Smooya lands the first. That's great, but he's backed away. Can't find the second. A bit of a leg comes in. That's good, but he needs a frag. But no, Jax is there. Hand-delivered shots coming through. Jax is doing what he can with his rifle. That's perfect. You want him to be the firepower at that point.
They're falling back as well.
Oh, dearie me.
This is great.
It's just everything, isn't it, Henry?
Yeah, the CTs have no idea what's going on. Is it inside? Is it not? I don't know. But Barbar,
both of them on
yeah,
B.
they don't know what's happening right now. And you can see Lambert. He's up close. He's holding the backtrack there, making sure no one can push towards the bomb train. But still, Envyus been quite tentative here. Lambert, he's going to shut down Barbar for sure. He's made a noise now with that scope. Ooh, shorting over the face. There it is. Easy kill, just about. Could have been a bit problematic there, but Barbar goes down. Just lovely stuff. They're not overcommitting. I would have liked them just to see go all in towards that side there. Yeah, but still, they are making very good work of this situation. Cosmin now M4 in hand. Freddie B flanking in as well. Cosmin, I think he's been spotted at this point. Flash is coming in, and surely he goes down. There it is. Final kill available now for Freddie B. And they're killing each other, making it easy for him. Oh, this could fall apart. It could fall apart. They're killing each other. Freddie B pushes through the flames. 20 seconds remaining as well. It's Lambert with the AWP. A lifeline potentially here for Epsilon. This should not be happening. It's all falling apart with 10 seconds remaining as well. Lambert. The impossible happens. Somehow they give that round away. It's not all bad news that they still bring it down to the 1v1 situation. The CTs are chasing anyway with tons of money available for the T side, but that was a lock-in round. That was done. Why did they kill each other? I have to see that frag as to what happened.
It just...
it's always connected. There's bad communication, I guess, generally.
Yeah, that's...
Panicked.
It was panic. But I wish they had a little bit more of a kick to that pace, you know, take a little bit of that firepower that Epsilon can have. They just committed to that. Okay, they might have had some trouble with Barbar, but beyond that, you had everything. You've done it right.
Overthinking some situations, perhaps. Trying to be too methodical with it, too tactical, and not just sticking together and getting that bomb down. Waited a little bit too long and allowed them to suss out. It was an inside play. I think that was a great call from them. Let's not go inside. Let's go outside fast. And you have one player there, sure. He might get a kill, be refragging, you flash him off. I think they're overthinking the situation a bit too much.
Theory is nicer. I like the theory. I hope the execution does maintain and we see Envy going from strength to strength. But it is a lifeline for Epsilon. Maybe a gifted one, unforced errors and all that jazz. It's only a discussion.
The problem is now, if they don't win this round, that's like double eco territory right now. The last round was a 1v1, and now it's a 5-on-4. Lose this, the game is pretty much over. But Freddie B, the hero of the last round, not going down about a fight, it seems as well. Finds Lambert, but once again, it's all a ruse. Trying to find openings where they can. It's VKL, who somehow has been undetected, but not for long. Barbar takes him down, and that should be the round now. It's looking very good for Epsilon. Betty Skull and teammates don't really have much to work with here. They're forcing their way out towards Ivy. I'm not really believing right now. The bomb and T-spawn wants to play here. Cosme not having any of it, but taken down by that Mac 10 eventually.
If they had the bomb, if they had something in this, I might give him a shot. But you look at Petty Skelly's 31 HP. Hadshi doesn't have freedom to move. He's not safe from anywhere, and he knows it. He's got Smooya left. He's got Barbar right. He's hearing Smooya. He's almost being baited into this. Hadshi's smart though. He's still considering it, but Barbar actually gives away the game a little. Peeking into that one. You can see Petty Scale now working through. Don't kill him this time, Hadshi. And oh my word, Petty Scale finds the frag. I didn't expect that one. Down to 10 seconds though. Oh my word. It's a 1v1, but he doesn't know the bomb. Freddie doesn't know that. He's going to hear the steps. Run, Freddie, run. Petty Scale can do nothing. 2 seconds left. He just has to stay alive, and he does. Money's tight, but the round's on the board. But what an incredible round.
Oh. It's definitely not the prettiest.
No, it's not.
Showing us they do have some flaws as well. A couple of rounds in a row where they've kind of had oversights there. The bomb left in T-spawn for so long as well, and it seems so promising for them. But once again, they do keep Epsilon modest. And they're going to be buying into this one. I thought they were going to call a timeout here. That would have made sense to me, but forcing into it. Round number 21, 3 AK-47s, 2 MAC-10s. The MAC-10 so prevalent here for Envyus. They're loving it. It's not a weapon we see this often in top tier CS, but they seem to be fans of it. And we'll go into round number 21 here. same thing stands. If they can win this round, MVS is trying to chase Epsilon here and just find that wild card round. If they can get it, it shuts down their money, and then they have the advantage here. But obviously, that's a tall order.
I am really interested what the end game here is from Envy. They've been exciting to watch, I have to say. And they've got a lot of utility. They've kind of, I guess, almost bought in this sort of idea of it. A little bit of a run jump there. Just flinging him over, checking the corners out. And you can kind of do it with the Mac 10. Again, off we go. Just send him around the map. And they haven't really gone anywhere yet. They've just kind of gone throughout the default. They've actually fallen away from B. Maybe might find that out if he pushes further towards the box calls, but it should be hit towards A pretty swiftly. Not sure what the end game is. Plenty of mollies. I'd love to see that hit that they did before, whereas, you know, against the pistols from Epsilon, those lovely Molotovs that kind of split throughout the A side of things. And you can see the pinch coming in from Ivy as well. Two players, Hadji there, and Jax looking to tighten the noose. Cosmin uncomfortable, you can see he's worried. He's panicked through the molly they come. He does get one decent work, and now that will alert the others. But Barbar now turns attention, and he does land the kill. It's Freddy B delivering as well. Maybe Epsilon have a handle on this finally. But decent trades from the T side, but it's only going to leave Lambert. 8 HP is simply not enough to sustain fights. He needs clean kills.
He does indeed. Still within a shout of winning the round, though. The time ticking away, spots defeat to Barbar. Surely that's a kill. There it is. Now it becomes a very interesting situation. We've got Mabe coming in from the inside bomb side, rushing in towards the site. I think he has made the correct decision here, but the bomb goes down. This shot means everything, and I thought Lambert had the chance to blow Mabe's head off, but wasn't meant to be. And once again, Lauren, it comes down to the 1v1 situation. We had 3 of those in a row now. And Envyus can't convert it to a round victory. The bomb goes down. They can keep buying into these ones. They know the money's so low for Epsilon. Money's low for either side. The bomb is defused, though. And you can see Epsilon soon looking a little bit happier now. They are winning the majority of the clutches in this half, at least. And Envyus, they've got a decision to make now. Do you keep forcing, or do you give in and allow the CT to stabilize and just make sure you don't throw this game away by keep force buying over and over again, right? That's why the coach is here to make these decisions. This looks like a more conservative approach, partial buy.
Just around 2k, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. We've got 4th stage loss bonus next round, so that's fine. So keep it around the 2k to 2.5k, then you're absolutely fine. And especially you get the bomb down this round as well. This sort of buy certainly lends itself towards that sort of situation.
Here we go. These are some nice ones coming through, but Barbar put sloppy. Overcommitted almost. Didn't need to be that close. Nice flash too. Freddy B flashed up, but still recovers in time. Jack's unable to strike, but you can see the B hit now coming into fruition. It's Smooya on the other side. Spots one. He's waiting for the bomb to cross there. Actually, and Petty Skull now gets a chance to do it. Oh, Smooya, a lovely idea, but he might have let that one slip away. Petty Skull now. Oh, my word, I'd be angry. 2v3. Lambert's on the prowl too. He's got armor, he's got a gun. Petty Skull just needs to stay alive, buy a bit of time, do what he can. A little bit too late to the party, and Freddy B's aware. Costly, but another one on the board.
It is. Giving a couple of kills away, but still, Epsilon win the round. Scoreline going to be 13-9 now. Bomb did not go down there. Nice shot from Smooya as the bomb crossed towards the site. It was denied generally. Round number 23. Another buy for Envyus here. Orb in the hands of Lambert. No head armor to work with. We did discuss the idea of that against the M4s. Can be a bit of an issue. Smooya. He's on 16 kills right now. Freddy B on 17. Smooya goes towards the inside area with the AWP. Most players don't go much further than this lower ramp position, but it's Smooya. He's going all in. This is a kind of Fallen-esque play.
Oh, God.
He likes to hold his angle, and he hits the shots like that as well. Takes him down 5-on-4.
Oh, something terrifying about that sort of thing, isn't it? It's so risky. Sort of high risk, high reward, I guess.
Is why he dropped out smoke as well. That's not to really take any attention away, but it's to give him a retreat plan. As soon as he gets that first kill, they can't really find him on the refrag because he's got that smoke veil to protect him.
And a quick hit now off the back of this. This could be an error. They're kind of walking into the setup piece that Epsilon have. Those first kills are so influential here, it seems. Jax, VKL, and Hadji now have to try and piece it together, try and pull this one back from the brink because they're down to a minute and they don't have many options. You can see the other couple of players trying to split through the back lines here, but they don't have much success. As Maeve's already aware this could be a possibility. He does get outdone, but Freddy B in the back with Cosmin keeps it all together. 3 alive, round on the board. We're going through the motions. Eventually, we're going to have to see what Envy can do to stop this, stop the rot, stop that comeback from building.
Round number 24. Seems like we could get that good game we were looking for here, Lauren. Epsilon starting to wake up. They're winning the clutches. We're seeing those aggressive plays pay off. And bucket loads for Smooya. Another eco here, or partial buy if you will for Envyus. P250, some body armor, some smokes, flashbangs to work with here. More smokes to be deployed, try and get that bomb down. There's going to be one player who's made his way out. That's Hadji. Surely he'll be dealt with momentarily. The smoke gives him something to work with here. His teammates will be joining in momentarily as the Molotovs rain in. You can see what a tactical team Envyus are here, but Freddy B and co, they are doing a good job of finding the frags with the bomb. It's going to be planted here. Oh no!
Henry, what's happening? How has this happened in any way, shape, or form? Okay, VKL and Jax, the duo from the B side on Inferno. Hopefully they got a little something building between them because Cosmin wants to fight and he finds the wrong end of it. Jax finds him. It's all on Jax though. No armor, no sustain. But he gets the tag, but no frag. There it is again. These rounds are disgracefully close. This shouldn't be going the way it is. It shouldn't be down to this sort of wire. I love the kind of little, I guess, almost path of smoke to the bomb site. They're just kind of allowing that route to form, give them the plant, get some decent after-plant positions, even with just those smokes. The theory is great from Envy, but they're just not winning out the rounds.
You're absolutely right. The tactic is spot on. They're getting the bomb down there. It's coming down to clutch situations, which is what you want there. Technically, you have the upper hand, though, when the bomb's down the seat, he's going to retake, obviously lacking weaponry. Molotov's there to really work with there, but a decent attempt there from Envyus. 13-11 now, so they get a bit scary for them as we enter round number 25, the closing sectors of the second map here at the Gfinity Elite Series. This is for the #1 spot in the playoffs. And well, I guess we already know that Envyus have got it, but still, Epsilon want to send out a message to them and show they are going to be contenders for the overall title.
Absolutely. These guys ferocious. Don't want to give away too much either. Someone's brought up on the desk, but Smooya, how much does he want? How much does he want to change here? There's 3 players on the other side. They're looking for this too.
He wants a bit more.
There's a run boost here coming in. That's nice. Can he get away safely? He's going to fall back to the first box. That's an issue. He's got supporting Cosmin. Cosmin delivers. That's brilliant. That actually might play him in even further. Ooh, Lambert. Quicker on the trigger. Smooya goes down. Desperate to try and make those plays happen, but still, they retain numbers. They keep advantage here, Epsilon. 4v3.
4v3 for sure. More aggressive play there. Smooya finds the first pick. Intelligent to allow his teammates to back him up as well. They're expecting to find a retreating player with a back turn, but they don't get that. They get greeted by the M4. Smooya goes down eventually to the hands of Lambert, but Envy is struggling now on the T side. Again to the 35-second mark here. They go towards inside. They've got plenty of utility here. 3 smokes, flashbangs, Molotovs as well. They're great for the post-plant situation when they see he's trying to retake the bomb site. Good news is as well, Envyus where they're ending up towards the B site. Only 1 player waiting there. That's Maeve. He's got no smoke. He's got no incendiary. He probably has to fall back here. He can't overcommit to this situation. Push with the smoke. I think that's a bit of a blunder, but the flashbang could be enough for him. Going for it. And he's going to try and shut them down, but it's a little bit obvious.
Yeah, Lambert, though, getting tagged up. Still alive. Maeve completely misses the player. Pushed up 9 seconds, though. Bomb's not planted. It will be now. Nothing to stop it at this point. Only a flash left, and the retake now begins. A 2v3 as well. Not too easy. Petit Scale pushed up, 1 on towards site, 1 playing from upper. Flash delivered, none spotted. He does have Cosmin to the right. That's the next piece in this. Nice work from Freddy B, but is any more possible from this man? Well, surely Cosmin's meant to be there. Lambert is low, and now there it is. Freddy B again, but it's VKL. Still alive. Now he's playing it right.
God.
He's dodging, he's weaving, he just has to play the time. Cosmin's following for it. Hook, line, and sinker. You don't need to peek. Oh, and again, VKL is running rings around him. No time remains, and Envy have done enough again. How close are these rounds?
Some very questionable decisions there.
Christ.
The overall clutch. It didn't seem like anyone wanted to give in at all or bait anything out. BKL just non-stop phasing there. Didn't even want to count the 5 seconds and delay. Wanted to keep going in, keep giving an opportunity, but luckily he stays alive. Oh, goodness gracious. Envyus there. Picking up the first round, I think, in 5. It's been a while since we posted around here. So many tight clutches, and this is what I've been discussing, Lauren. As soon as Epsilon give away 1 round, sure, they've won like 4 in a row, but as soon as they give away 1, they find themselves in turmoil in terms of the financial situation. 5-7, CZ, Scouts, UMPs, loses round, pretty much game over. But Smooya, of course it's him, pushing that lower round once again. They can't handle him. He's hitting every single shot right now. This time it's not the AWP, it's the M4, and he takes himself down to 5 HP, but they have the man advantage here.
But does he drop that gun off to anyone?
Of course he doesn't.
Of course he doesn't. Cosmin gets his head ripped off. And now they're falling like flies. Jax is at the helm of this. Barbar, though, wants a bit of the action, but too many players, they're everywhere. He has no safety net, there's nowhere to fall back to, and it's Smooya to do everything. He needs this. A tag is not enough, and Maeve is a mile away. This could be 15, unless Maeve could do something outstanding.
We'll see what he's got. Smoke available, incendiary as well. He spots Lambert, but can't find the shot just yet. BKL, he makes some really weird decisions the last few rounds, I have to say. No reason to challenge that whatsoever. You've got the advantage. It's 3 versus 1. He wants to battle. They've got utility and bucket loads. Just let him make him work for it. But no harm, no foul as Hadji gets that final frag. It will be Epsilon now looking down the barrel of the 2-0. Like we said, it doesn't really mean too much in the grand landscape of the tournament. Generally, it will be Envyus regardless in that first place seed of the playoffs. For anyone's not aware, it means you get a more favorable route to the grand final. That's how it should be working. But for now, Epsilon has to be the force buy here in round number 27. Deagles, CZs, a UMP. It's been a lot of force buys in this series so far, but it looks like Envyus are going to take the win here. But still a chance. We'll see what the Pistols can do.
They're coming in with pace as well here, Envy. They want this done, and that could be an error. They could be counting their chickens before they've hatched, but Jax has got other plans, as does Lambert. 2 kills now back-to-back, leaving 3. Freddy B wants to be integral. He wants to be a factor, but it's Barbar finding Petty Skill. What is going on? How are they losing out on this one? Jax has to do it all himself now. If they want it in this round, it's all on him.
2v1 situation. It's map point, and against all the odds, it's Envyus going aggressive there, trying to shut the round down as quickly as they possibly could, but it hasn't worked out for them. Still, it's Jax. He's got a chance of winning this round. 21 HP on Maeve as well. He has a lot of time to work with here. The problem is the CDs have the bomb. He's trying to suggest he's gone somewhere else. Has he pushed inside? Has he gone towards Pop Dog? T-spawn. They're not sure. He holds his position that he's originally spotted him. Flashbang towards Heaven. See if he can get anything done here. Spots the bomb. At least knows the CD's not watching it for now.
We might be getting heard here. Here's the op scope in. Looks towards the green train. One at electric. He should have died then. Freddy B comes through just at the end. This is one of those games where it's basically down to the players to make the least amount of mistakes. You get to that scary point. Neither team's playing beautiful CS, bear in mind. This has been scrappy.
Yeah, well, for Envyus as well, this is looking like an overtime game, Lauren, I have to say. So, Envyus, sure, they lost like 6 rounds in a row, but they won that previous round and then got reset in the subsequent one, meaning they only get $1,400 into this round. It's going to be a double eco regardless, so they force bought into it. They're going to bring out AKs, Tech 9s, P250s, Mac 10s. We'll see what they can do. They go towards inner once again. They need 1 round that closes out, but Freddy B, he's been stellar so far. Top fragging for his team. Towards inside we go. It's up to Maeve. Hasn't been as good, but he has found frags here, and it's going to be a couple more added to his total. It looks like a clean sweep. BKL finds 1 kill. Oh, make it 2. Making things interesting, but he's down to 1 HP. Surely doesn't get another one. He dinks Smooya, but can't find the kill just yet. And it will be Epsilon getting 1 step closer to taking us to overtime.
There's not much love when we go OT, Henry. 2K is currently sitting in most of the banks of Envyus, so no purchase to be seen. So that should indicate 15 to 14. And even then, a shoddy buy probably to come through, not much.
You're absolutely right.
I'm getting a little nervous here, because Envy, you got to feel they were playing the better brand of CS, but it doesn't mean it always going to work out for you. And this is going to be a feed round, if anything. A couple of Deagle shots here and there. Barbar just wants the action, he wants the kills himself. Nade's going to do wonderfully. Yeah, this is a bit of a shooting galley.
Well, shooting gallery is firing back somewhat. It will be the Glock of Lambert to take down Barbar, but you're absolutely right. Not really much you can do with that one. And now all these force buys and his clutches going against Envy. Could drop at the final hurdle here. Don't leave him hanging, bro. There it is, fist bump. Coming in. And we'll see whether they can take us to overtime. Epsilon, that is. Envyus have already guaranteed it, looking to find the victory at 16-14. But double orb setup now. The first time I think we've really seen that for the Epsilon side. Smooya and Barbar in tandem with the AWPs.
Money has been pretty scarce for them, and they're actually trying to pick up the pace. They are, but these Molotovs, utilities there, and oh, Barbar through the smoke. Had she tried to play it on the time, but Smooya as well, being a different player. No, he's lost out! The first time, and every time he's done it, maybe unnecessarily. I don't know why he was pushing that. Barbar, though, wants to keep it together. He is doing everything he can to keep this one building, to take it to overtime for his side. He does not want to lose this right now, but Lambert's still fighting back. He's making room. He's forcing rotates. We're down to a 3v3.
We are, and there's options for Envyus as well. That Smooya push, I'm not a fan of that whatsoever. This kill could decide it, and it looks like we're not going to overtime. 3 versus 1 situation. Freddy B, all the weight on his shoulders now to try and find glory here for Epsilon. The bomb's outside, and it's down to BKR once again. Selling the bait, doesn't die either. I think that's it, we're done. And it was the opening kill. Barbar got it at Smooya for some reason. Pushes the lower ramp. No need for it whatsoever. He had the AWP in hand as well. He's so committed at that point. He just didn't know. You can see his corpse right there. No reason for him to be in that position. He's done it so much. It's the key round, the one that really matters to get you to overtime. and he gives the round up. Freddie B now desperate. I think it's almost impossible that he can win this situation. No nades to work with now, and there it is. 16-14. It comes down to one key mistake there from the young Brit towards the end. He's been stellar throughout, but it wasn't quite enough, and Envyus, they do indeed take the 2-0.
And I have to say, watching that way the game played out, the brand of CS that Envy bought was brilliant. It was nice, it was smooth, it was refined. It's what you want to be seeing from a team who's eyeing up getting to the next level. That's the sort of game I expect from a team who can push themselves further. Still mistakes, Henry, we saw them throughout. Yeah. That game should not have been that close, but all said and done, Envy brought a game that I expected to see from both sides, but they were the ones to deliver here. And that's just about it for us for now-ish. We're going to head back to the desk to see what they had to say about this matchup. A lot to be said, a very long series there in map 2.
I went 59-14.
Yeah.
Thank you very much to Pansy and Henry G. I was just watching the handshakes there of Smear and the other players for Epsilon. Very gracious in their victory. Envyus coming over, walking that short, like 10 meters across to commiserate to the Epsilon people. But I tell you what, getting that top seed and then an ability to get that 2-0 win, and obviously going through to the final, which we could see Envyus taking it on Epsilon, would be very exciting. We'll have all the analysis on this in just a moment's time.
Ooh, whoa, 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 whoa. What's going on, guys? Quickly, get me round here. First of all, wow.
What a series.
Every time I feel like I've been speaking to everyone, I'm lost for words.
Sure.
I think because we are all exhausted, but this has been quite a stressful day.
I think it has. It's been a roller coaster, I would say, of emotions for all the players and us as well. We had results no one expected here, and we had teams qualifying. I don't think anyone could have said at the beginning of the day, XL going to make it to the 4th spot playoffs. This game was for the seedings, but still, I didn't expect Epsilon to lose 2-0 there, so that's quite exciting at the same time.
Yeah, it has been pretty emotional throughout today. You know, highs and lows for every single team here. You saw the almost comeback coming out, a couple of mistakes here and there for the Epsilon side. Envy really putting up a great performance. It felt like it meant a lot to them there. There was something, you know, that made them play a little bit more than we've seen before. Whether it be just purely playing against another, you know, tier 1 team that they can, you know, bounce off almost there. Might have just brought a higher standard CS, but what a way to round out the day.
What a way. And do you think that they've taken time out to sort of gather as a team? Because I've been hearing some rumours.
Sure.
I have been hearing some rumours that, you know, there are changes going forward into...
I think that's every team at the moment. It seems like we've got that report coming in from the sidelines.
Sure only Excel were the ones who are like, we're going to try and keep everyone where they are. And I don't blame them. They got 4th place. Lock them all down. I don't know about every other team, but yeah, they're the ones who are adamant they don't want to go through the roster change.
Yeah, I think it's definitely coming for a lot of the teams here. I think this season has just been, especially for the UK teams as well, it's the first chance they've had to play an environment like this and establish themselves with the lineups and actually playing for money now and competing every single week. Maybe things weren't as great as they thought, so a chance to redevelop themselves, and now they know that out of the Elite Series can come out next season and potentially be a lot stronger. So it's good and bad at the same time, I think.
Now, with that in mind, Pansy, who do you think next season in this Elite Series should really kind of maybe make some adjustments in their team?
I know. Oh, here we go.
Who should get kicked is what you're telling me.
Yeah. I'm not saying specifically, but maybe there's one team that you could be like, do you know what?
Oh, so one team. I think some of the classics. I think you look at your method, who came into this as one to be tipped to be the favourites.
Yep.
Really did underperform throughout this. I think they had some moments where you saw what they could do, but they didn't quite live up to the standard they set. Infuse as well, Reason, you know, the kind of more the classic guys. I think Infuse should have been more consistent as well throughout this. I don't necessarily mean roster changes. I don't think that's the easy go-to. I think that there's just options they should have looked at and hopefully tried to get better.
Concentrate.
Well, I think the good thing about the Elite Series in general is seeing some of these lesser players have an opportunity to showcase their talent, right? And we've seen a lot of the lower teams, so the likes of Reason Gaming, like let's just pick Thomas for example, right?
Yeah.
Going to next season, he's going to be a hot property for a lot of these teams here that maybe have qualified or even on the cusp of doing so. They think, right, that's a big name, and we can try and pick him up and utilize his skill. And that's what I think the Elite Series is about, is giving these guys a platform to work with.
Yeah.
Also, imagine if he goes to Cuba again, the amount of discussion.
Oh my God!
Now,
unbelievable.
Henry, it's been a pleasure. And, you know, I think we all need to take a breather.
Yeah.
All right. It's like a marathon.
So here we go then, the last match of the day. It was gonna be a beauty on train and it didn't disappoint. Envyus taking on Epsilon. And in the end, Envyus too strong for Epsilon, even though they came right back into the match. So there you go, top seed, and the man there, as you can see, giving sort of slight high fives, semi-high fives with a double pat. I don't know what you want to call it. I've got the main man to chat with us in 1 second, Malik. But the current standings, there they are. It's official, 19 points for Team Envyus. They did not drop any points. Epsilon in there as second place. So what that means for the draw is we will have Team Envyus taking on Prophecy, and then Epsilon will take on Excel for making it all the way to the final. So the main man is joined from the main team, Envyus. Malik, lovely to have you on the panel for the first time in the Elite Series. Did you have a fun day?
Yeah, it was good. I really enjoyed it. That's really nice to be here with the Academy. And I'm really proud of them. They are doing quite a nice run so far, so that's good.
Yeah, and we speculated, Csgo and Herald, we talked about the fact that coming in now to sort of take over from Neo Sky, what's the thinking behind that with Envyus?
The team exists since maybe 3 or 4 months, and we are working online so far, and Lambert is the in-game leader. He's doing a great job so far, yeah. And he started to feel that someone with him could help him a lot. And with the summer break, I had more time since the main team was off. So I just decided to help him out, and yeah, I'm just trying to give the most I can do for them, and it's working quite well.
Yeah,
so.
Indeed, because I said earlier when we were looking at the standings that you haven't dropped a point. I was lying. You've dropped 2 points because of that 1-1 draw, and we were thinking maybe you'd been brought in to just, you know, let them know that's not acceptable. You know, we want 7 wins out of 7 wins. Anything to do with that? Or?
No, honestly, no, just timing. The summer break, I had more time, and we just tried to, yeah, to just work as much as we can together. I'm doing it online usually, but since I have time, I just coming. It's so nice. It's very, very nice.
Good, and sorting out the academy, like helping everybody know their bros. How did you find the gameplay today for Envyus for both maps?
I like the way they work on the T side. This is their strongest thing they have in their game. But I think I can bring something on the city side. I help them to find the right space and to know how to react middle round and things like this. Things we can manage quite well with the main team.
Yeah.
And I think we felt something good today, so that's good.
And so we've talked about it a lot down here, but how good is this Envyus team, and how far can they go?
It's a really new team. They are working since 3 months now. I think they got nice potential. The objective we have in the team is to get into the top 30 on the ranking, and I think they honestly can do it in the next 3-4 months. And I really hope they will get invites to some DreamHack Open and to, I mean, tier 2 tournaments or things like this, and probably winning. I hope we will win the Gfinity. And yeah.
Hopefully. I noticed the team huddle, because we talked about that before. Maybe with your height compared to Neo Sky, it's too difficult for Neo Sky to lean over. Maybe that's what it is, and that's why they brought you in. Is that the real reason behind it?
That's a good one.
Okay. Listen, we want to talk about one of the rounds that happened, round 25. Talk us through this, Csgo, because it's what you know. Actually, Herald, you fire away on this one, please.
This is one that I thought was particularly poignant because it refers back to earlier in the day where we saw a similar example of how to hold a B bomb site in a retake situation on that T side, and it's played absolutely perfectly from Team Envyus. Now, we saw Ruler trying to imitate the same action earlier, but in this you have the perfect read coming out. I believe it was V-Kill. He says, right, the diffuser is down there. Now there's a couple of ways I'm going to know he's diffusing. If I hear it, he's probably diffusing. All right, if he's not shooting at me, he could be. But if he's shooting at me, he's definitely not diffusing. So he goes, all right, if he's shooting at me, I'm not going to peek, which seems pretty reasonable, but you'd think. Anyway, it doesn't matter if he doesn't get the kill. He finds the round, very key round. And at the end of the day, that is the turning point for Envyus, getting back into the game.
Yeah, sure.
Well, congratulations on that.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, it's very good. I'm sure, were you making notes at any point to pass on to the players afterwards? Is it like you just pass them a little piece of paper, go, you need to work on that, that one's for you?
It's not exactly like this. It's a bit deeper. we always try to debrief properly, and then I can help them to focus on the main thing the next week.
Yeah. And have you already looked at Prophecy? I mean, they were...
No, not really. No. We are just focused on our main things.
Yeah.
So much work to do. So there is no time to watch the other teams.
Yeah.
We just try to focus on the way we can handle the bomb sites on the city side, the rotation, and there is hundreds of topics to deal with before trying to get into the other teams. So.
Okay, well, Malik, thank you so much for coming down and joining us on the panel. Lovely to have you part of the Elite Series. We hope to see you next week. Listen, Yasmin is up there in the audience right now, the Gfinity Arena, with Baba.
I am indeed. Now, Baba, I'm not going to ask you how you was, or how that was for you. We've had, well, you have had, as a team, a great run in this Elite Series. Not so great today. However, that means you're taking on XL going forward. How are you feeling about that?
We were pretty confident before this game, but nah, it was just a shit game in general. Pretty tired attitude today, and then I had some issues with my mouse and stuff like that. But I think in general, just a bad game. You know, we're still in playoffs, still have the spot. You know, so just to come back a little bit stronger next week. Yeah.
And I just have to apologise for any bad language there if anyone took offence. Now, so in this next lot of the Elite Series, I think tensions are running high. It's very emotional. I can see that from your face as well. And is there anyone that you are too worried about? Is there anyone that you are too worried about?
The opponents, you mean?
Yes, the opponents, yeah.
All right. No, not really. Like, we're still one of the strongest teams here. You know, we should be able to play better than we did today. But yeah, no, not really scared of anyone. I think we have the upper hand in the playoff and the semifinal, and then hopefully we will get revenge in the final against the Frenchmen. Yeah.
Oh, I like that. A bit of revenge coming from Barlar and team. All right, back to you, Tom.
Thank you very much. The stylish Swede that is Baba. A lot to go into the next match because they'll be taking on XL. They'll feel very confident about that. And Envyus will be taking on Prophecy. Highlight from today, I'll ask you, gentlemen, before we wrap things up.
A specific round, I'd probably go for that one in the XL game early on in the day with Jake Evans fusing it.
Yeah.
But as a game, it's probably that map as well.
Yeah. And a highlight for you, Harold? There's so many.
Now. You put me on the spot. Exactly. There's so much that I want to highlight that I can't think of the one that I do.
Okay.
Ooh, let's go with...
the fact that XL actually exceeded all expectations and managed to make it.
Massively. Yeah, that's it. That's just what I was thinking. How did you do that? Bloody hell, he's a magician.
Well, thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, Csgo, an absolute pleasure. Harold, look forward to having you in the Elite Series again. But listen, the regular season comes to a close. In the Counter-Strike competition, Envyus have set the standard and are the team to beat in the Elite Series playoffs. But Epsilon, Prophecy and XL have joined them in the semi-finals, and as we saw today, in Counter-Strike, anything can happen. Join us tomorrow afternoon for the final day of the Rocket League regular season, with semi-final places up for grabs. Be sure to join us for that one. Bye for now. Thanks for joining us.
Boaster ripping his way through all of them. And Windansky gets one double faces. Windansky with a second. They forced it into overtime. Gets into the elevated angle, struggling to find a headshot. He falls the Boaster.
Oh, he's no, what a mistake!
Fleet does go down, but there you have it. 16-6, a 10-round advantage.
Freddie B now desperate. I think it's almost impossible that he can win this situation. No nades to work with now, and there it is.